What you gon' do when you facing accountability? You say she pandering, you hyenas be killing me. You niggas scandalous, your stories like validity. Boy, don't come for celebrity, queen of account. They call it her pick me. Some women say she pandering, cause she don't pick the girl code over lies that's damaging. These hyenas scandalous, slandering a black man again, and want celebrity to stand and watch like she a mannequin. Black men are the casualties, trapped by women's strategies. They act out sporadically, that shit is a travesty. And it's just so sad to see, matter of fact, it's a tragedy. 3 kids with different daddies, please, but y'all all mad at Daphne. They up at night trying to discredit and defame. They corrupt, ain't right, and it's pathetic and a shame. Fake friends turn enemies, throwing dirt on your name, but you gon' fly with the angels and serpents burning the flames. Yeah, I know it's hard and it hurt to discover the same people claim they love you, start shaming your mother. Cut you off unexpectedly, you triggered, you hate that, claiming Daphne disrespected me. I figured you say that. What you gon' do when you facing accountability? You say she pandering, you hyenas be killing me. You niggas scandalous, your stories like validity. Boy, don't come for celebrity, queen of accountability.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday. I hope you guys are having a good Sunday. I'm sorry that I started extremely late. I have a lot of stuff going on right now, but I want to say thank you guys for being a part of this show that you guys have been asking me to do. I want you guys to know that this show is being streamed across Facebook and Twitter. So a lot of people might see that the chat might have 5 or 6 people, but I'm able to see how many people are actually tuned in. I know the last show I had, we got all the way up to 1,100 listeners. So thank you to everybody who was listening to my last show. That has done very well right now on YouTube. So I know a lot of you guys have been asking me about what made me do the accountability, what got me, holding people accountable for doing things online that are not normal. If you guys were on my last show that I did, people lying to go viral, I did use a story that people had sent to me. This woman since then has posted my address. She has posted personal things about my life because she is that upset that I exposed her. I want to remind you guys that this woman, 26 years old from Mississippi, thought that making up a fake text receipt about her life being in danger was the way to go viral. This woman goes viral because she keeps making up fake text receipts, and it makes people think, oh, this might be real. So it goes viral. And the latest one that she did 5 days ago, she made it seem like the man found out he wasn't the father and he was coming to kill her. And they ended the text receipt with him saying, or with her saying to herself, you better make sure that the cops get to you before I do, which, is a threat of violence. I want to remind you guys that I took a screenshot of maybe 70 people who told her that they were going to harm her. Okay? This individual looked at what I was doing as harassment and not me holding her accountable. Like I said, a lot of women are not going to block me. These younger generational women, they're going to go back and forth because they're not all there. They're not connected to reality. So I want you guys to know that the update is, in the last few days, this woman had posted my address. Now, she claimed that she went to a free people search website to find my address. But I know that a few women that I have stalking orders against probably reached out to her and gave her my location. She posted the area where I live. Now, I know this woman is not about that life, and she only did it thinking that I was going to maybe threaten her life or try to harm her. Instead, I'm going to handle her the legal way like I've done every other woman. We have to remember that everybody that comes at us, we don't have to entertain it. Her posting my address, it didn't make me cry or, wince, because I know where she comes from, right? She posted my house. She tried to minimalize where I live and make it look like I live in the hood. But, that's what women do to try to make themselves feel great. I want to remind you that that's not going to stop me from holding people accountable. When you're lying about your life being in danger and somebody calls the police and asks them to do a well-being check, I want to remind you that well-being checks are not against the law. That's not a police report. A well-being check is if you call the police and say, hey, I saw something and can you guys check it out? Whether it's true or false, they're still going to check it out. But let me tell you what's true. There have been a lot of cases where Black women went online and did a prank. You're not the father, or I have AIDS, or something severe. And before they can say, I'm just kidding, they were unalived. They were killed. So forgive me for seeing something online and she telling everybody in the comments, I'm really in fear for my life. Now, I don't know her personally, so I don't know what's a joke to her. I know what isn't a joke to me. But a lot of the men that were saying that she's going to take a dirt nap and that they're going to show up and do what's called a firing squad, and they hope that she dies. Hey, checking to see if you were dead yet. Those people didn't think it was a joke, because there's real men out there that found out that they weren't the kid. I mean, that they weren't the father to a kid, and they spent thousands and thousands of dollars. And the last thing the mother should be doing is laughing in their face. That can easily unalive you in seconds. So this black woman got mad at me, and now she's flipping the script and saying, you're harassing me. You're stalking me for something she put out publicly. We have to remember, young ladies, when you put some bullshit out in the public eye and you're lying, they have every right to investigate because you made it public. What's sad is when the police go to your page and they see how much you crave attention. Your life isn't normal. You claim you're getting money, but you have to make up a lie about your life being in danger just to get a few dollars from Facebook. So a lot of women are not going to like what I do because they don't like to be held accountable for the bad stuff that they're doing. Now, let's say her story was real and the man did show up and kill her. Then they would have said, well, where was everybody at? All these shares and nobody called the police? It's a lose-lose. But I want you to know that this woman is sick. Even other black women told her this is not the way to go. Her favorite line to anyone that went against her was they're bitches. She kept calling men bitches and women bitches. So it just told me that she's not all there. She also posted my likeness, my website, and again, told everybody that I'm a stalker. And then she admitted to having a mental illness. That's what made me block her initially, because I said, okay, she's not all there. But then somebody told me she posted your address. So I had to unblock her to address it. See, women like her that have kids at home, they're putting their kids in danger. So when I tell them I'm going to call child services, that's why. Because if you're online, stoking the fire, threatening people, calling them bitches and posting their address, somebody is going to come for you. Not me, but someone will. There was a guy on there that said, I know where you live. I've seen you around the way. You do hair, right? This woman doesn't realize what she's doing. She even made a post about somebody finding out her real phone number, and it scared her. That was real. So if they can find your phone number, then that means they have your address, and that's where your babies lay. Why would you want to put your kid's life in danger to get a few dollars from Facebook? Is it worth it? You can't go on Facebook and tell people you're balling out of control, but you're struggling to go viral every day. And I'm learning that a lot of women like her, they only go viral because they tag every follower that follows them. If I tagged all 90,000 of my followers, every one of my posts will go viral. But I've never done that in the years that I've had Facebook. I don't need to. I'm not desperate for money. I might make a post that doesn't do anything. I might make a post that does a lot. That's the life of social media, right? But I need you guys to understand that women like her are the reason why a lot of them are unalived. They think that this stuff they're doing online is funny, but it's not. When you have people really threatening to kill you, you got to take some of that seriously, especially when they live in Mississippi like you. It's all fun and games until they catch you coming outside. See, a lot of people don't like to be laughed at. So if you're posting black men crying and mocking them, good luck. And now this woman is so mad for the past 3 days. She's been talking about me. I'm going to sue her. And a lot of the people that don't like me online already, that have orders against them, they're reaching out to her to give her tea. This is why I tell you guys I cover up names. Because if I don't cover up the names of people that I'm holding accountable, people out there that can't speak about me because of an order, they're going to give them information so they can speak for them. And it's going to be one big mess. So I want to remind you guys that this is the kind of stuff I go through on a daily. When you call a black woman out, they'll flip the script and say you're harassing them. You can't call the police and say this woman thought my life was in danger because I said it was, but I was just kidding. That's not the way the world works. Don't post it publicly if you don't want people holding you accountable publicly. You feel me? That's what I'm going to keep doing, and I'm not going to stop. And if you want to call it harassment, then block me. Otherwise, if you put it out there, I'm going to let people know it ain't real. So when I exposed her stuff for not being real, she got mad. and she started to attack me. Am I scared of her? No. I know she doesn't have any money. She said she was going to sue me. People that are sitting there struggling to go viral on Facebook don't have money to sue. But since she's already made the threat, I'm going to help her. And I'm going to start the process because I know I got sue money. She doesn't. You feel what I'm saying? What you're not going to do is spread false stuff about me. You can spread my address all over the world. I like right now, anyone can find out where celebrities live. It's not hard. But when you dox them and you post it publicly, that's when it's a problem. When you're using that in a malice way, that's a crime. But if somebody already has their address publicly, like her and LLC, it's fair game. I tell women every day, if you're going to go viral for lying and then post your business that leads to your address, that's kind of stupid. Don't do that if you don't want people knowing where you are. It's fair game. If you have an LLC, that is public knowledge. And most women will link it to where they lay their head. That's how I knew where to tell the cops to go. Because her LLC, I didn't have to dox her, but she did dox me. Now, unfortunately, some of the information on the paperwork that she got, it wasn't all accurate. When you use free sites, they're buying and selling your information, so it's not accurate. You're going to have to pay at least a few $100s to get a very accurate report. So what was accurate was my address. Am I scared? No. Everybody knows that I carry a gun. So if you think posting my address and saying I'm going to meet you, girl, you're not going to do that. You have a kid and you're struggling already. Stop. Y'all got to stop acting like internet gangsters because you might meet the right one. If you are a mother doing this, shame on you. And if you are a mother threatening strangers online, I'm definitely going to reach out to human resources because you don't, I mean, human services because you don't need your kids. You don't. Why would you put your kids in danger if you love them, right? But going viral should never be that serious. So I wanted to update you guys on what's been going on because a lot of people have been seeing it on Facebook. So the address she posted, I'm not going to deny that that's not where I live. I'm not ashamed of living in a beautiful area. It's the fact that a lot of these women think they're doing something by doing that when really they're committing a crime. You can't sit there and get mad at somebody for holding you accountable because had somebody really showed up in Mississippi and shot her, they would have been mad for us not bringing the post to the cops' attention, right? They get mad when black people don't stand up for other black people. But then when you keep scrolling, that's a problem. I didn't keep scrolling. So I wanted to let you guys know that. Okay, so with that being said, guys, I wanted to get that out because I will keep you updated when I start handling legal stuff starting tomorrow. I'm not playing games. When you make threats to me, yeah, we have a problem. And even though I know her threats are dry, it's the fact that she's telling everybody she's going to sue me. So she wanted to sound good. But when they see how you're struggling for Facebook engagement, typically people that have money don't need to struggle on Facebook to make it, right? They don't need to post fake stuff to make it big. People know that I've been going viral for over 9 years. My most viral post is like at 400,000 shares. I don't need clout. If it goes viral, it does. If it doesn't, I don't care. But I'm not seeking a check. Y'all know I don't do things for money. That's why I'm on YouTube, where I'm not being monetized, right? So a lot of people don't sit there craving attention where they need a couple dollars. So to you black women who are trying to make it, you don't have to make it by lying on black men. You don't have to do it that way because you're going to lie and you're going to bring the wrong attention to your doorstep. There's people that will kill you for $5. So why wouldn't they kill you for mocking someone not being the father? Y'all feel what I'm saying? Y'all got to stop playing these games with these men. It's not funny. If you're going to make up a fake text receipt, don't make it seem like your life is in danger and don't make it seem like somebody's about to get killed because people will contact the police. That's what you're supposed to do. So with that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get on to the topic. I do have one of my friends. Her name is Shy, who I've known for, I would say, close to 10 years. Now, a lot of people that know me personally, they know who I am as a person. They know that I'm not crazy. I'm not evil. They know I do the right thing when it's necessary, right? So my friend Shy, I met her. Shy, come on. Can you hear me, Shy? Can you come on?
I'm here.
Okay, boo. So I met Shy. Was it in 2014? So it has been 10 years, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, I met this beautiful black woman who does have a daughter. How's your daughter doing? She good?
She's good. She's good. She's a teacher at the high school.
Oh, God is good.
So,
So you
yeah.
guys, I met Shy, and I'm gonna call her by her nickname. I met her on Facebook 10 years ago. So Remember, I told you guys last year, there's a few women that reached out to me that wanted to be a part of my accountability team and holding people accountable, but they really wanted the clout for me. They used my platform. They wanted to use my platform to increase the followers and subscribers on their platforms. And when I got wind of the fraud and the fakeness and I cut them off, that's when all the attacks happened. Now, with Shy, when I met her 10 years ago, we met each other in a group and we were cool since then. And she told me, I live in Chicago. I said, I'm in Chicago too. So when I first went to get my nails done in Chicago, I went to this very, very expensive nail salon, which I never do again. And she told me, why are you at that one? You could have went to another one. And I told her, can you meet me here? And we met each other for the first time at the nail place. We hugged each other. She then saw that I was a real person. I wasn't fake. I wasn't a dude behind the camera. I was who I was. Shy, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Now,
I
me and
still
her,
got that picture.
yes, you know what? I was looking for that picture of us too at the nail place. I couldn't find it, but I'm gonna
I'll
find it.
send it to you.
Okay, thank you, boo. So when she met me at the nail place, I'm like, wow, this black woman really does care about me. She's cool because I told her I don't become friends with black women at high rates because they all have a motive. It's hard being cool with black women when they try to destroy other black women. That's what they do. They want what you got. Well, Shy wasn't that type of woman. She had her own, she was independent, and she actually cared about me. She was like a mentor to me, to be honest, because she was much older than I was. I'm not gonna say much older, like by 50 years, but she was older than me. But she carried herself with such poise and grace. I was like, damn. And she's beautiful. This is a beautiful black woman who, has a background in law enforcement, right, boo?
Yep.
Yeah. So when she said that, I'm like, okay, we gonna be cool. So one thing she did for me to this day that I always hold to my heart, the next year, I received my first college degree in the state of Illinois. It meant a lot to me because my mother was born in Illinois. So when I got my first college degree, my family could not come from where they were to my graduation. So I reached out to Shy. Now, mind you, she had only known me for less than a year, right? And I reached out to her and
Mhm.
I told her, I got my husband's family and all of them, but I wanted someone that was just going to be there for me, that knew me and that, she said, say no more. I'll be there. Now, I thought she was bluffing, but Shy showed up to watch me receive my first college degree in 2015. She was right there. She was there. And we took pictures together in my cap and gown. Shy, is that true or false?
That's true. And I got those pictures too.
See, girl, you get on my nerves. All these pictures you got, you need to send them. So, guys, she came to
Okay.
my graduation and showed me that there are women out there that actually want to see you do well. And I didn't know her for many, many years, but she showed up for me when people that have known me for 20 years didn't even show up. So she showed me that there are women that you can become cool with online and then become real friends outside of social media. And she's one of them. And Shy, I wanted to give you your flowers because you are a part of my life. You're a good person and I love you so much. And I want to
Me
say thank you
too.
for never changing who you are. And we've known each other 10 years and we've never had a disagreement. We've never had an argument. You never, and you
Mm-mm.
know personal things about me. Ooh, wee. You can write a book. She knows personal things about me that has never gotten out because that's what true and loyal people do when they don't have a motive. And I'm sure if we ever had a disagreement, she wouldn't go on Facebook and say, let me tell you what the queen of accountability took. That's just not her
No.
character. So I wanted to
Mm.
show you guys that there are black women out there like Shy who don't have a motive behind why they're trying to become cool with you. They actually want to help you. And this woman, she really did help me to become a better person and not attack, attack, attack. Shy, did you want to add to that or anything?
Um, just to say we've known each other 10 years. You've known my baby since her early teens. You've known that I wanted to strangle her. Um, but this just the same thing. This my girl. I met her in a group, and out of all the people, her and I just clicked. And she was here, and I'm not a person that really deal with a bunch of people. Um, and she said I'm older than her, but I'm actually 27, so we gonna put that out there. Um, but
Okay, girl.
but I do love her. I love her. My daughter loves her, and I know she'll ride for me. So I do those same things. And I'm not a Facebook person, but I still have people come at me just because of the energy that I have, and they think I'm fake. But she has always loved on me. I was going through a really really hard time in a relationship, and these flowers, these edible arrangements came for me, and I'm like, oh wow. And Daphne sent them. Um, and then some pretzels, chocolate covered pretzels came for me. And it was from her, just, to say, I got you. This is not your fault, because I had a really hard time. So I really appreciate that support. And to bounce off the nail shop story, we were talking. She said, I'm going to get my nails done. I said, okay, where you at? And she told me, and I just walked in the nail shop. And she knew it was me, and I knew it was her, because she was a nth of a mile away from me, and I could not let that moment get away. So, and I love my girl. I think she's doing an amazing job. There are not a lot of people like her. And she's always been 10 toes down for the things she believe in. So for that reason, you know, she's been my mentor too. And I can only honor you, baby. I love you.
I love you too, girl. Thank you so much. And like I said, girl, you got me over here a little teary eyed. Because when someone tells me that I helped them, when you were the one that actually helped me, because I was the one that was rough behind the ears. I was, anytime someone said something I didn't like, I was on attack mode, and you kind of helped me with that. And me coming out
Mhm.
here and being out here and not being cool with no females, you were one of the
Mhm.
females that I clung to and that I saw as someone that I wanted to be a part of my life. And my
I
husband loved you.
appreciate that.
His family was like, "How long you known this woman that showed up at your graduation?" I said, "Less than a year." What? So they said that's a
Mhm.
good person. You don't want to lose that type of person in your life, and I'm glad I didn't. So I just
Yeah,
say thank you for your kind words, and I appreciate you. I love you, and we're definitely gonna link up and continue to be who we are outside of this. And what
absolutely,
made me happy is when you said
absolutely.
you walked into the nail salon, you knew who I was. Because some people
Mhm.
say, "Oh, she's totally unrecognized." My haters like to talk about me because it makes
Mhm.
you know what it is, and
Yeah,
I knew it was you. You
yeah.
knew it was me. There was nothing
Mhm.
behind that. So I just want to
Mhm.
thank you for rocking with me for 10 years. I appreciate you. I
Oh,
know you got to go to church.
absolutely.
So go on and get to church.
Thank you for
God
having
first, Queen.
me. Thank
Thank
you
you
for
so much.
having
I'll
me. I
talk to you soon.
appreciate
Okay.
that. All right, baby. Have a good day.
Okay. You too.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. So, guys, I wanted to start off with that because I know that on Facebook and Instagram and other places, you might hear women say, I don't get along with women. And it's all my fault. And it's all me. But I don't get along with women who are doing wrong. That's it. So, just, a lot about my life. I'm not going to sit there and go into when I was a baby and my mom and all that. But what I can say is, um, I wasn't supposed to make it. So, when my mother was, in labor, the cord wrapped around my neck. So I was not supposed to make it. And it was my grandmother that told my mother, they're going to have to cut you open. And that scared my mother. So I'm glad that I made it. My dad told me to this day that they said I fought to get here. So I've always been a fighter. And my dad telling me that, I was like, cool. So I'm going to always adapt that fighter mentality. Right. So growing up, I had a wonderful childhood. We weren't perfect. We weren't rich. We didn't have, everything we wanted, but we had what we needed. You feel what I'm saying? We didn't grow up in like the Cosbys and, oh, I get to do this and that. So me and my brother, we were close. We were the closest out of all my siblings. Me and my brother were close because we loved sports. We were the youngest ones. And, he was the youngest out of the boys. I'm the youngest out of the girls. So me and my brother were close growing up. We taught each other how to play basketball and stuff like that. Because my dad used to work crazy hours. But my ability to play basketball came from my mother and my father. They were both hoopers. My mom and dad used to play together. That's what they did. And my mom was tough. She wasn't no softie. So I think I adapted the basketball game from both of them, and so did my brother. We were ones that always played basketball. We would go to the rec centers, and we did that together for many years. Me and my brother were so close that when I turned 13, and it was time for me and my brother not to share rooms anymore because we used to have bump bags, it was time for me to get my own room. He cried. I'm like, we in the same house. But that's how close me and my brother were growing up. And that's why I said I had a great childhood, because I love sports. That was something that I was good at and that I love to do, that helped me pass the time. So growing up in my life, I would say, I had people in my life that cared about me. And I had people in my life that used to love to be around me because I was who I was. I was loud. Everybody knew who I was. I used to make people laugh. I didn't have to act. I didn't have to put on a front. And you had a lot of that in school growing up. Y'all know how it is growing up. So when I was young, when I was in grade school, that is when my mom had her incident. I was in 7th grade, and I never forget. And I'm only going to say a few things about my mother. I don't want to say too much because I want to respect my family. So I was in 7th grade, and I remember when I was in grade school, they used to watch the news in the morning before we would do our homework or whatever. Our teacher used to always turn on the TV and play the news. And I remember in school looking at the news, and they were talking about a shooting that occurred. And they said that there was a shooting, multiple people died, and a female is currently on life support. And they said a Black African-American female. And I'm just listening to the news and being a kid and also doing other things. So it didn't dawn on me that, hey, that could be my mom. I wasn't thinking about that. I'm a kid, 7th grade. So I never forget that day when I came home from school. I came home from school and my family was in the living room sitting on the couch, and they all looked at me, and I'm like, oh, I must have stole something. I had to think about what I did that day, because I'm thinking I'm about to get a whooping. Something about to happen, because everybody's face was serious. And that is when my father told me that it was my mother who was shot and was clinging to life. I don't even remember how I reacted to that. I can't tell y'all, because it's been so long. But I can honestly say I probably cried and was like, what's going on? And then that's when my life changed. My mother, she held on and did not give up. And I can honestly say a lot of people are not built like my mother is today, because we get scared and we go right into it, right? She held her own until she got help. And then I thought it was phenomenal how, even though she was laying there out there for 8 hours, and someone finally called 911. And when she gets to the hospital, that's when she flatlines. She did it at the right time, because they were able to save her. The reason why I always call my mom my hero is because the other people that were shot that night, they died instantly. They didn't get to have any time with their families. And what I thought was very scary is that one of the parents, one of the other people, one of the other individuals that was killed, their son, he was in my same class, and I didn't even find that out until later. I found that out, and that's something I'm still like, wow. So he didn't know that it was his family, and I didn't know it was mine. But my mom survived. So my mom surviving like that, it taught me that, when it's your time, and when it's not, it's not. And even with me being young, a lot of people assume that the relationship between me and my mother was strained. That is inaccurate information. My mother trusted me at 13 years old with over 15 different pills. Any pill that I gave her in the wrong sequence could have killed her. Now, thinking about that now, you don't think about how much responsibility you had when you were young. But my mom trusted me with her life. I was the pill lady at 13. And we're not talking about low-level pills. I was dealing with Percocet, morphine, Ativan, baclofen. Some of these pills I know by heart, because when the nurses would come and check on her, she would tell them, pill lady, tell them what I take. And I would just go right into it. And I didn't realize what I was dealing with until after the fact, right? But my mom trusted me with her pills. And I thought that was amazing. Me and my siblings and my dad wasn't going to let my mom go to any hospice. So my dad allowed them to set up her hospital bed in his room. So we all took shifts. We all took care of my mother. I couldn't imagine somebody taking care of me being paralyzed from the neck down. I don't think I can do it, because I don't want nobody doing that for me if I'm supposed to be doing it for myself. But my mom never complained. She stayed strong, and she didn't let us see her sweat. Even if she was crying, we didn't see it. She maintained her strength. And that's hard to do when you're paralyzed from the neck down. That's not easy. Most people would give up, because you don't want to be in that state. You don't want nobody watching you and digging in your butt, doing those things. But we were doing those as kids because we loved our mother. That's what you do. And my dad, he would work 12-hour shifts, come home and stay up with her until we got up for school. And my dad never complained. So I also got to see love right there. My dad never complained, never went out, never partied. He was devoted to my mother, even though she was paralyzed from the neck down. So me being a kid, I loved having my mom there instead of her being at a center, because we didn't think she would get the love that we were giving her. You feel what I'm saying? So me and my mom, we used to bump heads because I was just like her. I knew how to press her buttons, and I used to love picking on her because I knew it would make her mad because we were just like each other. So I came from her. So of course I'm gonna give you a little bit of what what I feel is right. But we were very, very close. And my mom knew that I was destined for greatness. She knew that I wanted to be everything. She knew I wanted to be a basketball player. That was my dream growing up. I wanted to be either a singer or a basketball player, but basketball was always number one, because I got that from my mom. So, like I said, I'm going to skip some parts. So, with my mom, getting sick, I always thank God for the time he gave me with her because I know he needed her more. But I want to remind you guys that my mother lived long enough to make sure that the person who did the shooting was not on the street to do it again, right? She did that for the victims that could not speak. And I was so proud of her for doing that because it's not easy to do, right? And not only did she testify, but she forgave the man who put her in that chair. And that's not easy to do nowadays. People don't forgive for something like that. You want revenge. My mom forgave him. So my mother also taught me forgiveness, even if somebody did something horrendous like shooting you and paralyzing you from the neck down. So I said, if my mom can forgive him, then I can forgive people for doing less than that to me, right? So my mom taught me forgiveness because most people say God forgives, I don't. Well, my mom forgave, so it's in me already to do it. So, being a kid and not knowing that your mother is dying because we're not experienced in healthcare. But when my mom, the day that she was dying, we didn't know. It was routine calling 911. And then this time she just didn't come back. So losing my mother as a child, it was hard for me because this was somebody that birthed me, right? That taught me so much in that short time. But she did. And I'm thankful that she allowed me to do the things that I did as a kid because it gave me responsibility. Not just that. My grandmother lived on the other side of town, 2 hours away by bus. And my mother would trust me, as a child to get on that bus by myself and go all the way to see my grandmother to do her hair. My grandmother lost her hair to chemo because she had cancer. She beat it. And I was able to grow her hair out. So after my mother, passed away, my grandmother passed away that next year on her birthday, my mother's birthday. And her hair was like down her back because I helped grow her hair out. So I had a lot of responsibility and I'm glad they gave it to me, right? But growing up, without your mother, it's not easy, or grandmother. It's not easy because those are women. I'm a woman. But my dad, he took on the role of being there for us as much as he could. And he did a really good job. We all did very, very well. In high school, they give you time to grieve. So they let you take time off of school. Well, my dad and my mom knew that I would never miss a day of school. And I didn't. So like I told you guys on one of my shows, in high school, the whole 4 years, I never missed a day. I didn't do senior this day. I didn't do none of that. So I still have a plaque in my old high school for never missing a day of high school. That's something nobody can take from me. That's 4 years. And I don't know many people like me. I think I know one person, a guy who also did miss a day, but besides him, it was me. And that's never happened in that school in like years. So it was big for me. That's an accomplishment that I wanted to do for my mother. So growing up, guys, basketball was my favorite thing to do. I love basketball and everybody knew that. And I'm going to have somebody on the show in a little bit who's going to attest to not only me playing basketball, but me coaching. I know I said before that I was really good, and some people thought I was just saying it. But when it came to basketball, I was really good. I had the privilege of playing with my dad. Me and my dad played on the same team together, and I showed him how good I was. I was really, really good at basketball, and I only played against men. I did not play a lot with women because we didn't get along. I just felt like they weren't on my level. And a lot of people know that in high school, I was really good at basketball, but the coach that I had, we didn't get along. So me and my coach, we started having issues because I would be late to practice because me and my brother were both in sports. And we had to both make sure that there was somebody there for my mother. So if my brother had practice and I had a game, we had to alternate because he had to be at practice. I had to be at my game. I would show up late and my coach penalized me for that. She didn't care what I had at home. That was the issue. And that's why we didn't get along. My mother had words for her and, my dad did because she didn't understand that I had a mother that needed us. And she was always going to come before basketball. So my coach penalized me for being late. She would make me sit out on games and all that type of stuff. So, but I never knew she would take basketball from me entirely. So when I lost my mother, I was still playing basketball. So when my senior year came around, and I was in the newspaper. Me and my friend, her name was Emma Fuentes. We were both in the newspaper. They were saying these are two people y'all better watch out for. So being in the newspaper and everybody knowing that this year was going to be crazy, that I was going to bring it, my coach ended up cutting me. She cut me from the team. And so not only did I lose my mom and my grandmother and then my uncle, you know, I lost basketball. And that was like everything I had. My dad knew how much I love basketball. My family knew how much I love basketball. My coach knew that, but she knew she had the power to take it. She cut me at a time where I couldn't transfer. So she did it strategically. My coach did not like that we clashed. She didn't like that I was trying to get better. So she cut me. Yeah, she cut me from the team. So when my coach cut me from the team, I was pretty upset. I was sorry about that, guys. Somebody just called me and I actually had my phone on do not disturb. Sorry about that, guys. But so yeah, my coach cut me and I took the long way home. It was really, really, it was a really hard moment in my life. That's what I did. But you know, when that happened, I had a whole bunch of men trying to go to bat for me. This is why I will always stick up for men too, because when I got cut from the team, a lot of my friends that I play basketball with, the men's basketball team, everybody tried to get me back on the team. You know you're good and you know people love you when they're all trying to get you back. So I'm always going to give a shout out to Deegan Andrews. Deegan Andrews was the men's basketball coach. He said, you know what? I'm going to get you back on the team. I was like, cool. Thank you. I know you got it. He couldn't get me back on the team. So the whole men's basketball team tried to get me back on the team and it did not work. My coach was adamant that I was never going to play for my school again. That was it. She took that from me. And I think from there, I had a vendetta against her. I was so angry. And when she wasn't going to bring me back on the team, thank God for people that you grew up with playing basketball with that respected you. A lot of my close friends also quit the team. They were not going to play without me. We were a team. We were a unit. And she took that from me. So my team went on to like win, I think it was like 2 or 3 games. The worst season in like 30 years. It was so bad that they fired her the next year. But it did me no good because I was graduating that year. So when I got cut, I just turned to I turned to dance. Dance was something else that I did very well too. I was really good at hip hop dance and I was good at creating dances. That's how I became popular in school because I was good at dance. But it wasn't like what I wanted to do for a living. I wanted to play basketball or sing. So when I turned to dance, that's what got me the scholarships. I never took them because I didn't want to dance for a living. I wanted to play basketball. So I'm thankful that my dad taught me to be talented in many different areas because just in case one thing didn't work out, I had this. So I would say in high school, I think my junior year I had got 2 scholarships, and my senior year I got 3 scholarships for dance, and they were in California. I think the other one was in Arizona. I think it was at I forgot what school it was. Was it NAU? I don't remember. But I had dance scholarships, and to me that wasn't real to me because I didn't want to dance for a living. So, but I was still thankful for him. You know, hey, I had a scholarship, great. But I never took them. Instead, I ended up getting a full-time job out of high school so that I could help my dad out. I wanted to do it. He didn't ask me to. I wanted to. So being responsible was something that was already instilled into me. But guys, you know, when I got out of high school, I think that's where my attitude came from because I was mad at the world. I was mad that I didn't have my mom. I was mad that I didn't have basketball. And so I didn't want to play basketball anymore. Not with no females. I had an issue with females, but I still played basketball. I played against D1 basketball players. I played against WNBA players. I would play them at the gym and I would light them up. It was bad how I was doing people. People used to record what I did and they would post it. And I got a lot of attention. That's why I said when it came to basketball, that was something nobody could take from me. My coach took it from me, but when I started playing recreational and playing on teams and leagues, my name was out there, and it still is. I was really good at basketball. I didn't have to be 6'1". I was skilled with the ball handling, and I knew how to shoot. I was really, really good. I remember I traveled with N1 in San Diego. They had a shootout, and I beat everybody. They had a 3-point shootout, and it was me. I was the only female, and there was like 10 guys. And I outshot all of them and got a trophy. And that was in San Diego, California. My first plane ride was to San Diego, California. So that's how good I was in basketball. I didn't play college ball. It doesn't mean I wasn't good. I remember Bridget Pettis told me I should play overseas, but I was scared to fly. So that wasn't going to work. So yeah, guys, that's kind of what that's how it was when it came to sports. So me playing basketball and coaching basketball, it was the same. Most of the guys that I coached, I played with. So, when it came to, coaching, I didn't mind doing it because I was good at playing basketball. And I was able to coach the Phoenix Suns Night Hoops for like 7 years. I was the only female coach. They used to call me Coach Knight because, what I did was similar to how Coach Knight coaches. I was good at coaching men and they respected me. Even though a lot of them were probably attracted to me, they respected me first because I did not come off as somebody like that wanted attention. I just wanted to play or coach. That's how it was. So I did coach men's basketball and I was very good at it. I got 3 trophies, a first place and 2 second place trophies, which to me isn't bad for a woman, right? They say that we can't coach men. Well, I did that. So that was a part of my life. And that's kind of like how my husband came about too. When he heard that I was coaching, I didn't know him yet. I met him at Sunny Slope Gym, and that's where he embarrassed me. So, in basketball, I hardly get embarrassed because I know what you're going to do before you do it. That's how good I was in sports. But my husband tricked me that day. He said, I figured you'd say that. And he swatted my basketball to the other side of the gym and embarrassed me. And one of my good friends that I grew up with that's close to my husband, I didn't know at the time, is like a cousin to him. He's supposed to be coming on later to tell you guys a little bit about my ball handling and how I was in sports. Because I know a lot of people think I make stuff up. Oh, there's no way she was that good. Well, I was. And it's not to boast. It's just to say I worked hard. Being a female athlete, playing with men, you have to earn it. When I first came to Chicago and I went to a gym, they were not giving me the ball. And my husband wasn't going to tell me, anything. He wanted me to experience how it really is. They're not going to give you nothing. You have to earn it. So when I hit my first shot, okay, she made one. But then when I went to the hole and I spun on someone and laid it up, then I got their respect. And then they were giving me the ball. I'm not used to that. In other places, I get respect right off the bat. Not here. They was like, nah, we're not doing that here. And my husband wasn't going to give me any free points either. He wanted me to experience it. And I'm glad I did because I earned it. So then people knew I can hoop. One thing I want to say about my past is that my attitude came from me being disrespected in high school. I had a vendetta against my coach. So when I was able to play her one-on-one in a league game, I wanted to hurt her. When she went diving for the ball, I jumped right on her back like WWE. And I would act like I'm going for the ball and put my arm around her throat. I tried to choke her a few times. I was so upset that she took basketball from me. So when I was able to play against her, it was a physical sport. She had all type of bruises. I wasn't playing that day. I mean, even though My team won. It didn't count because they needed one player and I wasn't originally on the team. But my coach saw that I was still mad. And I felt like when I was going to other gyms and there were women there, I would take it out on those women. So if I was playing against a woman, I made sure she felt my wrath. So that's how I was. And when I would go to the parks, I would talk to men with such disrespect. I would call them the B word. I would cross them over and tell them to get up. Actually, to be honest and to be you know, truthful, I would say, get up, bitch. I would cross a man over. He would fall to the ground and I would stand over him and say, get up, bitch. That's how bad I was. I remember guys used to tell my brother, she's going to get killed. And my brother used to say, that's why I don't like playing with you, because your mouth, you're evil. We didn't come from evil, you know? And I'm like, so, you know, I cussed my brother out too. That's how I was. I felt I had to be that way. I felt I had to be tough, especially if a man was interested in me. Oh yeah, I was going to make you uninterested real quick. But it bothered me when they would call me a man and they would call me names. It hurt my feelings because I'm like, they're calling me a man, but you can clearly tell I'm a woman, because it was the way I carried myself. I was very disrespectful in my teens. And I'm telling you, I can probably name 3 times where I could have gotten killed. And I could have gotten my brother killed. And I could have gotten any man in my life that cared about me killed as well because of my mouth. This is why we women have to look at ourselves and say, is it me? Yeah, it was me. I just didn't look at myself yet to say that. Instead, I continued to call men every disrespectful name in the book. From bitch to you pussy, every name I could think of, I called them that. And it got so bad where people didn't want to play on my team. Even though they knew they were going to win, they didn't want to be on my team. And it started to bother me. Oh, y'all just hating on me because I'm better than y'all. That wasn't the reason. So one of my friends, his name was Charles, old school guy. We called him old school. I remember one day he pulled me to the side and he said, I'm saying this because I love you. Because you're like my daughter. I see something in you. He said, but what I also see is you getting yourself killed. He said, you have an ugly mouth. And I'm looking at I said, I brushed my teeth. What are you talking about? I wasn't understanding. Right? And he said, I'm not talking about that. When you open your mouth and you cuss at these men, you're giving off masculine energy. You're acting like a dude. They don't see you as a woman no more. So if somebody pulls a blade out of their shorts and they slit your throat, it ain't gonna be funny no more. But you're playing against guys that do that for sport. And I was like, wait, who? What? So I held on to my neck. I had to hold on to my neck. And I was like, wait, somebody was gonna kill me? I didn't realize that this man prevented several people from wanting to hurt me. Crazy. These were men that wanted to hurt me because I embarrassed them. A lot of these men came from Louisiana. They came from other places. So they're not used to a woman calling them a bitch when they fall. You know, they already got their boys laughing at them on the sideline. And now you got this woman standing over you. So at any time, one of those men could have produced y'all know above the rim. Tupac used to keep that blade under his mouth. Some people keep it in their basketball shorts. It's like a little slit. I didn't know that. I didn't know people play with razors. But guys, it would have been it'd have been real quick for me. And nobody would have cared because they would have been like, yeah, well, her mouth sucks, right? So guys, I had to work on that. It took a man telling me I needed to basically shut the hell up. People don't want to play on your team because you're loud and you're disrespectful and you sound like a dude when you open your mouth, and it's a turnoff. Nobody wants to play with a woman that doesn't know how to be a woman. Y'all feel me? I didn't come from that. My dad didn't teach me that. So it took a man to tell me that. And when I finally realized that it was me and I was the problem, I changed. I changed who I was, because what my husband did to me, you know, years later in my gym where he embarrassed me at a gym where I put many men on the floor, the old me would have said, you ain't nothing but a bitch anyway. That's what I would have said to my husband. And I'm positive he would have probably got somebody to try to fight me. It would have been different. But at that time, I learned how to manage how I talk to people. So when he swatted my ball and the whole gym erupted, I sat there in embarrassment. There was nothing I could say. But I realized that when I started to act like a lady and I was still playing basketball, I knew men would defend me. There was a time where a man, I was D'ing him up so good that he got so frustrated that he elbowed me in my nose. He hit me so hard, blood started to squirt out. And before the blood could hit the gym floor, all the guys attacked him. They had my back. But if I had been the old Daphne, they would have just been like, well, it's probably your mouth. And I didn't even say nothing to get hit in the nose. Right. So I learned that when I shut up and I acted like a female and I did what I was supposed to do, just played the game, play basketball, men were going to protect me. And that's what I got out of that. And I'm thankful that somebody told me that I was acting a fool, because if they hadn't, my dad would have been burying his daughter. And that's something I never told my dad. When someone tells me that, hey, I stopped a few guys from killing you, that's scary. You're like, wow, really? I'm that bad? You were that bad. Damn. That just tells you how powerful a woman's mouth is. I didn't put my hands on these men. I just knew how to talk to them. That's why I said when it comes to our mouth, we know what we're doing. Before I met my husband, I was in an abusive relationship, guys. So right out of high school, losing all that stuff, getting a full-time job, and getting into a relationship that was different than what you ever experienced. I was in a relationship with someone who did not heal from their past traumas. But see, at that age, I didn't know what anxiety and depression and PTSD was. I didn't know. But that relationship I got into, I was private about it. I didn't tell my dad what I was going through, and I didn't tell my family, because when someone threatens to kill them, you believe it, right? My domestic abuse went for 3.5 years. And what I think is really sad is how people will use your trauma and make a joke about it, and nothing is funny. So I want to remind you guys that, when I was going through my domestic violence relationship, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I was perfect. Did I ever put my hands on him? Never. Because this man was 6'4", 230, 240. He was solid muscle and he played sports. He was really good at it too. And he was really good with his hands. And if somebody would have told me how he used to hit himself in the face when he would miss a shot, I would have never gave him a chance. But I didn't find out about these things until after. But when I got into this relationship, everything seemed cool. He got accepted to a school in another state, D1, for basketball. When he went off to school, we were only a few months into our relationship, and he cheated. He was the first person to truly break my heart, because nobody ever cheated on me. He did, and it was in another state. And I went through a depression. That's when I knew what depression was, because I went through it. And someone told me it's depression. I was like, oh, okay. How do I get out of it? You got to get up and do something. Nobody told me to go to a doctor or go to a therapist. They told me I needed to move around. That's what people told me, because nobody believed in getting help. So my depression, I lost like 20 pounds. I lost my job. They repoed the car. He put me in that whole downward spiral. And I was just letting my life go. I was ready to go. I said, yeah, this ain't gonna work. And it took my sister telling me to get off my ass, get a job, and move forward with my life. I can't change what the man did. She was right. When she told me to do that, I did that. I got my life back, because I'm like, we were only together 3.5 months. So, we were together 3.5 months. It wasn't real. It wasn't that long. 6 months and it's real. Three months, you're still in the baby stages, right? So when I got my life back and I started to get back on track, eating healthy, playing basketball, people started to get interest in me. And a lot of men wanted to date me, and I wasn't ready to date. This man really did break my heart. And then word got back to him in college at this big university that everybody wanted to date me. He was so jealous of that this man forgoed his scholarship. He left school after like 5.5, 6 months. He left school. He was supposed to be there for 4 years, and he left and went back to the state I was in, because he heard that people wanted to date me, and it made him jealous. He realized that, you know what? In them 3 months, that woman showed me a lot. She had my back. She let me drive her car, blah, blah, blah. And I guess he knew that for somebody else, they might keep me, wife me, whatever. When he came back, he said he wanted me back. And y'all, I did what most women do. Okay. I took him back. When I took him back, that is when the abuse started. He then saw my phone. He saw people that I was having conversations with, and that would get me beat up. He was the first person to ever punch me in my face. I've never been hit like that. Like, I fought women before, but they never got a chance to hit me in the face. I was really good at fighting too. Right? Me and my brother used to play where we used to punch each other in the arm, the hardest you can hit. And we used to tear each other up. So we taught each other how to fight too. So, being hit, it was new for me. But because I played basketball, I was able to say, oh, the black eye came from basketball. And everybody believed it. I was great at acting too. Oh, yeah, I was great at acting. So the abuse started when he came back. And I was controlled. He controlled me. I had a time where when I would leave for work, if I was 1-2 minutes late, I was in trouble. When I would come home, he would be right there looking at the watch. I went through that for 3 years. 3 years. Punching holes in the wall, destroying tables, choking me out. Busted my lip. Hit me so hard in my jaw that even to this day when I yawn, it pops. That's the kind of stuff that I went through, right? And I never asked anybody for help because I didn't want nobody to be involved in what he was doing to me. And that went on and it went on. And I was able to hide the bruises, the busted lips. I had a story for everything and everybody believes me. Everyone believes me. It was easy. They knew I played basketball rough. They knew I loved playing flag football. All these things, you can get an injury, right? So nobody never questioned me, not even at my job. Not even my job questioned me. And they saw the black eyes. And I would tell them sports. And they believed me. That's how I got away with it for several years. But then I remember one day I woke up and I said, I don't want this to be my life. This man needs help. And I did not want to call the police on him because I knew he would get serious time. I had the receipts and proof that he did this to me. But I knew for a black man, if I called the police, he was done. His life was over. And then if he does get a chance to go back out in the world again, whoever he dates, they're gonna get that. All that anger he had, they're gonna feel it. And I didn't want him to have to do that to somebody else. So I did something that most victims don't do. But I want to tell y'all something. In that abusive relationship, I could have prevented a lot of those punches, a lot of those chokes, because my mouth. See what I'm saying, guys? It was my mouth. I knew how to make him angry. Those same people at the park that wanted to kill me, that's how powerful my mouth was. I used that on him too. He got that too. I would make him so mad, calling him a dusty ass, broke ass bum, bitch nigga. I called him every name that I knew would make him mad. And that would get me hit. And a lot of people would say, well, it still doesn't give him the right to hit you. That is absolutely correct. But ladies, we know what we're doing. We know what we're doing to egg this on, right? So at the end of the day, guys, I caused some of the hits. And I'm willing to say that because in my mind, that's what needed to be said. I knew I couldn't fight him physically, so I fought him mentally. And I was breaking him down. That's why I said a woman's mouth is stronger than a man's fist, because we can control what we say and how it comes out to piss them off. And we know their triggers. And we only do it because that's the only fight we have, right? So yeah, I did that. So when I woke up that day and said, I don't want this to be my life anymore, but I don't want this man to go to jail. Now, mind you, we always feel bad for the person that's hurting us because that's in us. We have a heart. When in reality, we shouldn't feel bad. Lock his ass up. Put him in cell block D with Tyrone, right? That should be the attitude, but that wasn't mine. So I called his dad. And I told his dad what I had been going through. He was so sad for me. He apologized to me because he knew where that anger came from. I just wish he would have told me. His dad knew me from sports and all of that. And when I was dating his son, you should have known your son has some anger issues. Why didn't you tell me? But I didn't say that to him. I just said he's been beating my ass for the last 3 years. And I'm tired. I don't want my dad to bury me. It isn't fair to my dad that his daughter is going through this. I said, I don't want to call the police on your son. Can you please come and get him? Because if you don't, I will have to call the police because he's going to kill me. And I think the reason why I called his dad is because the night before he pushed me down some cement stairs and I almost broke my neck. That right there was the end. I had enough. That right there was the last straw because I literally could have broke my neck, but I knew how to master the fall. I ended up scraping my elbow and my skin came off. I was bleeding, but I still had my head intact. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So when I called his dad said, I am on my way. When he said that, something went into my heart like, I'm about to be free. So guys, I told y'all I'm good at acting. So someone's banging on the door, right? And he opens the door and he says his name and he says, get your shit. He had 2 big ass suitcases. One on the, now mind you, his dad is like 6'7", 3 something. So it made me feel like I knew he wasn't going to hit me now because his dad is bigger and stronger. So I felt like, okay, let me act like I don't know what's going on. And he looked at me and gave me a look like, play along. And I'm looking like, what's going on? What happened? And he was like, why? He said, because I said so. Get your shit now. He got everything he could and stuffed it into those 2 suitcases. And he says, go wait in the car. Go. He didn't question his dad a second time. That made me feel good knowing that somebody else could control him, right? He leaves out the door. And his dad told me, I am so sorry. And I cried. He said, I had no idea he was doing this to you. He said, but I want to let you know that this came from his mother. His mother abusing him and him never getting help for it. He said, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He said, but he will never hit you again. I promise you. I said, now, are you taking him to live with you? Because he could come back. He said, don't worry about where I'm taking him. Just know that he will never hit you again. I said, yes, sir. He said, lock the door when I leave. He said, wait, does he have the key? I said, no, he doesn't. I have the key. He said, okay, good. So he left. And when he shut the door, I laid on the ground and looked up in the sky and I said, I'm free. And I just started crying. I think I laid there on that ground the whole night because I was free. I've never felt free like that before. And he was gone. I never saw him in person again. His dad actually shipped him out to a whole nother state to be with his brother so they can fix him and help him. And he ended up getting counseling. He got help. And what was amazing about that is a couple of years after he was sent to that state, he emailed me because at that time I was in my new relationship with my husband. So from the time that he left to me getting into a relationship with my husband, it was like a year. Now, I shouldn't have done that. I actually should have gotten help for myself because you went through all this trauma in high school. Then you go through an abusive relationship and we just think that we're fine. And we're not. We're not fine. When I got into the relationship with my husband, he knew something was up because when he went to fix his hat, he lifted his hand up at emotion like he was going to hit me and I ducked. It scared him more than it scared me. He looked at me with like, and it's a look that you'll never forget. He looked at me like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, is there something I'm missing? And that's when I told him. And when you tell somebody that you're, dating that cares about you, what you went through, their first thing is, where does he live? I'm ready for war. But I told him it already got handled, And what made it even better is that a year after me dating my husband, I got an email. And it was from him saying he was sorry for abusing me. He said what he did, it came from what he went through. See, I didn't know that his mother abused him when his dad left. But I need a lot of y'all women to understand that a lot of these men, they are traumatized from what their mother put them through. His black mother used to call him all type of shit. You ain't shit. You ain't nothing, nigga. You gonna be a nothing nigga like your daddy. So his mother would berate him because his father left her. So she took it out on him. She used to abuse him, taking a cheese grater and grating his skin, putting him in the corner, making him sit at a table all day. When he would do something bad at school, she would beat him. And it wasn't even that serious. But that's what he went through for years under a black woman. So imagine when he got into a relationship with me and I was calling him a no shit nigga, who did that remind him of? His black mother. So he really wasn't beating the hell out of me. He was beating the hell out of his mother. That's who that was. I didn't know any of that because, I didn't go to school for it. But you find that out later. He said his mom abused him for years and he never got help. So when we would get into it and I would say things, he went somewhere else. He would black out. Made perfect sense. He said, it doesn't give me the right to ever do that. He said, but you saved me. You saved me. Because if you did not do that for me, I would be in jail. You saved me. I don't have a criminal record. And now I'm working on my life. He ended up working on his life, getting married and having kids. But he said, I saved him. That's what he said. And had I known that his mom did that to him, I don't think I would have gotten in that relationship. But I didn't know. Men don't open up and say, yeah, when I was young, my mom used to beat the hell out of me. She used to get a cheese grater and grate my skin. She would take a lighter and light something and make it hot and press it against my skin. Men are not going to say that to women. It's hard for them to open up, especially when it comes to abuse. But ladies, understand a lot of men went through that. So when you and him have an argument, you're reminding them of what he went through. And a lot of men do black out and don't remember what they did. Because at the moment, they're not thinking. And because they don't get no help for that, and they hold on to that, somebody's going to be the recipient of that. And it was me, y'all. He almost killed me. There was 2 times where he almost went through with killing me. And I never been in a predicament where I was stabbed or choked or pushed or punched. But that's what I went through. And like I told you, my dad told me when I came into this world, I was a fighter. So I'm always going to fight the best way I can fight. Right? I didn't want my family involved. So after that happened, and after I told my husband, who was my boyfriend at the time, what I went through, he was pissed. And he was upset that I didn't tell him. I don't know if he would have stayed with me. I don't know. But I should have gave him that grace and I didn't. But he still stuck with me because I hid it. He only knew about it because of his hand going up. Other than that, I hid that from him. But he helped me to talk about it. And he helped me to tell him that I know you're not going to do this to me. My husband never even attempted to act like he was going to hit me at all. He didn't come from that. You feel me? So me getting with my husband, we helped each other out. He's just getting out of college and I'm working for the state. But we were a team. He saw who I was and accepted it. And that's hard to find. I told him about what I went through in my life. I told him about my mom, everything. And he understood. But what I wish I would have done better is I wish I would have gotten the help. Because a year after us getting together, in that same year, that is when I had a nervous breakdown, you guys. So when people think that I went through a perfect life, I just told you guys a lot of bad stuff. And you're like, wait, how is she like she is today? How does she? Because we can't be defined by that bad stuff. But in 2011, I remember me and my husband, we were in another state. We were in Maryland. And I was sitting there and I blacked out. And when I came to, I didn't know what was going on, but my body just had enough. It was so bad that I called 911 because I didn't know what the hell was going on. And 911 was taking too long. So I called 911 again. And let me tell you, I was with my husband. He wasn't my husband at the time. He was my boyfriend. We were together a year. Okay. And we were in a whole nother state. And we were there with his family, visiting them. And guys, that's when I had a nervous breakdown. It was when I was away from home and I was somewhere unfamiliar. My everything, my mom, the abuse, this new relationship, everything came crashing. So I embarrassed my husband by calling 911. His brother was like, what the hell's going on? And then 911 was taking all day. So I called again. So guys, 2 ambulances showed up. I didn't care. My husband, I never forget how embarrassed he was because he didn't know what was going on. I told them I cannot breathe. So they took my pulse standing. I was standing. I wasn't running. I wasn't moving. And my heart rate was almost at 200 and I wasn't moving. So yeah, they stuck the thing in my vein and they put me right on in the ambulance. And when they turned on them sirens, I was terrified. I thought that was it. They hooked up some stuff to my heart. They were telling me I needed to calm down. I couldn't. I'm sitting in the ambulance and my heart rate is continuing to go up into the tubes and I'm not working out. Dangerous. Dangerous for me. I didn't know what was going on. But I remember looking at that EKG machine and you see them little things going up. It was ziggly. It didn't look normal. You know, the normal thing goes up and down like a triangle, right? This one, it was ziggly. I knew the zigglies. I knew what that meant. So it made me panic even more. So they had to tell me to stop looking at the machine because it was making my heart rate go up higher. Guys, my heart rate was so high and it was at a dangerous level. They kept me in the emergency room. They kept me there. They kept me there for 9 hours. They were scared because I wasn't moving. I wasn't running. So there was no need for it. But that was anxiety. It was everything coming crashing at once. So yeah, they kept me there. They ran a whole bunch of tests. They didn't find anything. But he said, you know, you might be going through something psychological. This might be something that needs a therapist. You might need to go see someone else, you know, because, you know, when they gave me Ativan, it brought my heart rate all the way down to normal. Ativan. So when I was going through my mental stuff, I would look up the pills they would give me and look it up before they gave it to me. When I looked up Ativan, I was like, oh, okay, this ain't bad. You know, this is cool. And it made me feel like I was coasting. I felt good. And then that's when they sent me home. Now, when they sent me back, my husband was just like, yeah, this is a lot. I don't know if I can do this, right? My husband almost gave up on me because he didn't know what I was going through. And if he didn't call his mother and tell her what I was going through, you know, he wouldn't have known, not knowing that his mom went through it too. And it was because her leaving school to go back home is when she had my husband, gave birth to him, coming back because she also had a mental health episode. I don't know why it happened like that, but it did, y'all. But when I went through that nervous breakdown, it didn't stop there. When me and my husband went back to the state where we were staying, my mental health, it took a turn for the worse. I didn't have no Ativan now, right? So now I don't have anything and I'm going through this episode again, a panic attack. These were panic attacks I was having that I didn't know what they were at the moment. So it was so bad that I would keep calling 911, you guys, and embarrassing my husband and embarrassing people. That's all I did. Anytime my heart would palpitate, I would be on the phone with 911 and they would keep taking me to the hospital. Well, I was calling them too much where this time they kept me. They kept me in the hospital in 2011 because I continued to call 911. I didn't understand what I was going through, guys. And this was all anxiety, depression, all of that coming all into one. And I remember when I did talk to a therapist, she asked me what I went through in my life. And I told her I lost my mom, I lost my grandmother, my uncle. Then the lady took basketball from me. Then I got into an abusive relationship where he almost killed me. She was like, whoa, 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 whoa. All this stuff happening. Did you ever see your guidance counselor at school? Did you ever ask your dad if you can get no, no, and no? Because back then, if you saw anybody, a shrink, you were crazy, right? But we forget that in high school, we do have our guidance counselors. We have people we could talk to. We just don't want to. I didn't. She said, so all this is from everything that happened in your life, and it's all coming to head. And you should be lucky that it's happening right now while you're young, because you could have died. You could have died. I'm like, I could have died, but I still didn't understand panic attacks and how to control them. So it got so bad where they put me on suicide watch. I was in a room. There was a pad on the floor. There was a light that shined on the pad on the floor, and the room had cameras in it. They didn't give me no phone, no nothing. I had to go in there. I had on one of those little two-piece outfits. They had me in it, not a straight jacket, but just a regular outfit. They had me just like that. They didn't know what I was gonna do. And and truthfully, I've never thought about killing myself. So I don't know where they got that from, but I guess I was agitating them to the point where they put me by myself. And I was there for 2 weeks. And when I showed them that I wasn't suicidal and that they were tripping, they didn't let me out to where there was other people. I never contested what they did. I felt like I needed to be by myself so I could think about, why am I going through this? What are these feelings? So when I was let out again, where I was able to be around other people without them thinking I was going to call 911, because I called 911 twice from that place too. And I think that's another reason why they put me by myself, where I couldn't have access to a phone. So when I was out in the community, that's when I decided to go outside and take some, get some air. In the backyard that they had, it was for us. It had like a garden. It was a place where you can go just to get some fresh air. And it was general. It was for everybody, men and women. And then when it would, at a certain time, they would separate us. So when I went out there, that's where I saw my friend Anthony. And he was where the cameras could not catch him. You know, when you have a camera that's pointed out and you're under it, they can't see what you're doing under it. So when I looked and I saw him over to the right, what he was doing, and I said, what are you doing? That's when he looked at me and I looked at him. And I'm like, Anthony? And he was like, Daphne? I'm like, what are you doing? And that's when I noticed that he had a piece of a soda can. And you know, when you, I don't know how he did that. I don't know how he did that without hurting himself, but y'all know those soda cans are really sharp. He was getting ready to slit his wrist. He was going to slit something with that. He was going to take his own life. And when I told him, what are you doing? He was like, why are you here? Why are you here? And he was like, well, you were popular in high school. Everybody loved you. Everybody wanted to be like you. Why are you here? And I told him, because I'm imperfect. I'm human. Why are you here? And he said, because I'm going through a lot in my life and I just want to end it all. So no, I said, you're not going to end it now with me right here. I said, throw that shit over the fence now. Now, or I'm going to scream and tell somebody. So he didn't, now he knew I was loud. Okay. Now back then I could scream. So he knew it, he would never have gotten that far. So me threatening him, saying I was going to scream and let them know what you're doing and you wouldn't get that far. He threw that piece of can over the fence. When he threw the piece of can over the fence, we both embraced. He cried, I cried, and we hugged for a long time, crying. And when we both came in there, I let them know, hey, he needed y'all, and y'all weren't even paying attention. That bothered me how they weren't paying attention. If we're all here for a reason because we're going through something mentally, you need to be paying attention. That's your job. They weren't. So when I saw how they weren't paying attention to the men like they do us women, that bothered me. So me saving my friend Anthony's life, it also saved mine that day. And I said, you know what? I got to figure out how I can get through this the natural way. Now, they did give me pills because I told them I couldn't survive without them. I was lying. I could. And then when I finally got out of there and I was able to start learning how to deal with my panic attacks, it was so bad I couldn't go into grocery stores. I was diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. They called it GAD, right? Because I didn't want to be around people. I couldn't go into crowded places. Now, y'all, this is the person I used to play basketball and life was great. I was scared to play basketball because I knew it would make my heart rate go up. And that right there was a trigger when I was in Maryland. So I didn't even play basketball. I took some time away from playing basketball for a couple of years. And that wasn't like me. I was extremely scared to play. And when I did try to play one time, I didn't even make it up the court. I gave up because I was terrified. So that's the kind of life I had, y'all. And I remember when I went to my dad and he told me, you know, panic attacks and anxiety runs in his side of the family. He used to have them and he still does, but he can manage it better. And I told him, okay, yeah, I can manage it too with these pills. My dad wasn't having that. So I want to say thank you to my dad because he knew I would take a pill prematurely, even though I wasn't having a panic attack, just because of the way the pills made me feel. My dad told me, give me your pills. I'm looking around like, what pills? Because I had the bottle on my hand clenched very tightly. He said, the pills in your hand. Oh, the good stuff, the Ativan. You know, my dad and me being an adult, I still listened to my dad and I handed him my pills and he flushed them. And I remember I cried. You flushed my life away, you know? But my dad knew that I didn't need them. He knew it was something that I can get through because he got through it. So when he took my pills, I never took another pill again. Never did. I went through over a decade with never needing another pill. So I always thank my dad for that because a lot of people that suffer through anxiety disorder, bipolar, they try to give you every pill you can, but eventually those pills you're gonna, you know, become acclimated with them. You're gonna want them and you abuse them. That's why they call it opioid abuse and they take them away from people now because you can get addicted. The goal is for you to try to do it the holistic way, right? You know, so I found other ways to cope with my anxiety and it worked. But I also said men need to know that we got their backs too. And I told my dad about how men weren't getting the same attention. That's normal. If a woman and a man both walk into the ER and say they both have a panic attack, they're gonna treat the woman first. They are. That's natural. Why? How come they both can't be treated together at the same time? Somebody grab them both at the same time and put them in different rooms and start, you know, why does it have to be the woman? Okay, sir, sit down for a second. We'll be with you in a minute. It should never be that way, y'all. But that's how it was. Like I said, I started to come up with ways to deal with my anxiety my way. And my husband was with me every step of the way. He was. My husband wanted to marry me. He wanted to marry me during the time that I was not feeling like Daphne. And I told him that wouldn't be right, giving you half of me, or being married to me and I'm not fully where I need to be with my life. So we put that on hold. It was an engagement until I was ready. And he understood, because it wouldn't be fair. I actually told him, if you don't want to deal with this, I want you to be happy with someone else, because it isn't fair for you to have to worry about me. He was in it. He said, I'm in it for the long haul. And he never gave up on me. He didn't. And I ended up overcoming what I was going through. And we ended up getting married. See, a lot of people think because people don't get married right away, oh, it's because they were using you and they're wasting your time. No, you never know somebody's story. That's why you shouldn't assume, right? Nobody knew that I was going through this, because people think that what I do online, my life was great and I'm sitting on a high horse with a silver spoon. No, baby, that is not even close. That's not even close. A lot of things that I went on in my life, a lot of people couldn't even live 2 minutes of it. Most women that don't have their mothers growing up, they grow up being hoes. Let's be honest today. They grow up with a bunch of baby daddies. And they say my mommy and grandmother weren't alive to teach me not to be a hoe. Well, guys, my mom and grandmother wasn't alive for me when I was getting into my older ages. When I hit 18, no one told me what it felt like. That is why I waited to have sex. And I never regretted waiting till I was 21. A lot of men already thought I was having sex. You can think it, but you can't prove it, because I know I wasn't doing it. I waited. I didn't have to wait. 18, I could do what I want. I waited until I was ready, because my dad taught me how to be a lady and how to understand when someone cares and when they're just trying to hit. My dad didn't have to do too much talking. We learned from how he carried himself. And he told us the things when we asked him about it, right? So a lot of these women today hate me because I'm not using my mom and grandmother not being here as an excuse. They use it. Well, I got 3 kids and 3 baby daddies because my mom wasn't around. It was just my dad. Well, then you should definitely not have any kids then, because your dad is going to teach you the game. He's going to tell you what these men. But see, women don't want to hear from a man, because you didn't give birth to me, dad. How you going to tell me when that's probably how you were, dad? They don't want to hear the truth. They want mommy to say, it's okay. Shake your ass, baby. No, a lot of mothers don't teach their kids to be ladies. They don't. So I've noticed that a lot of these women that get into it with me, they have an excuse for why they're in their position. A lot of women that I get into it with online, they have kids. They were reckless with their uterus and they're mad at me because I wasn't. You'll even have women tell me, you probably couldn't even have kids. Everybody doesn't want kids. And that's okay. Because the way this world is today, I'll be in jail. You can't whoop your kids anymore. Back then, we got toe up. Nowadays, you can't do that. So what's the point? A lot of people don't want kids, and it is perfectly okay. But just because you got a kid, it doesn't make you more of a woman than me. Especially if you're out there slinging pussy with any man you meet and you're having all these bastard kids. That is nothing to be proud of. You can't get mad at Daphne for the choices that your uterus made. You did this on your own. You chose to do this. Nobody's putting a gun to these women's head and saying, you're going to have my Pookie Jr. Spread them. No, that's not happening. Women are choosing this outcome of being a baby mama. I chose not to be a baby mama. Even with all this abuse, most women that go through abusive relationships, they have a kid with their abuser because they think a kid can change them. It only makes it worse. Now you're repeating this. If he's not changing without a kid, he's not going to change with. And now you have to hope that your son doesn't grow up like he did. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So forgive me for making a better choice. And then they even say, well, you don't know what we're going through because you had it easy growing up. No, I did not. I would have loved to have my mother and grandmother see me walk across the stage in high school and see me accomplish these big things that I'm doing in my life. But I didn't. I just had my dad. And I'm glad I had him. And I'm glad he did not give up on us. He didn't. So, ladies, the choices you make are the choices you make. But never confuse that with me trying to help you. See, because being married is wonderful. I didn't think my life would end in me being married. I thought I wasn't going to be here because I was really in a tough, depressed time in my life. If I could do anything over, I wish I would have gotten counseling when my mom passed because I didn't even cry at my mother's funeral. Everybody was screaming and hollering and crying and wiping their face, and I was sitting there stone faced. And I never forget hearing someone tell my dad, watch her. You got to watch her because it's not normal for a kid not to cry. They're supposed to cry, right? But I didn't. I cried over the years, but I didn't cry that day. So a lot of things that went on in my life, I try to tell people now, get some help, get some counseling. Don't hold it in because what I went through, it almost took me out. But I was young enough to go through it. When you're older, you're older. So everything is older and it's harder for you to bounce back. People typically die. My heart, it was going up on its own. Dangerous. You can see how quick they were moving. And that was making me more panicked. So I'm just saying, the things I went through, I wouldn't wish on my enemy because it's not fun. But when people laugh at this type of stuff, that's a mental illness all in itself. Y'all feel what I'm saying? But I learned in life that if you hold someone accountable, they're gonna try to flip it and make you to be the villain when you're not. So I learned that when I was on Facebook, because that's where everything started, on Facebook. Facebook was where everybody, and I didn't create a Facebook when it first came out. I was late to the game because I didn't know about Facebook, y'all. I didn't make a Facebook post. Let me tell you guys about my abuse story. No, I didn't need clout and all that. That's not what it was for. But I remember when I was on Facebook, I started in these troll groups. They still have them now. There's probably over 1 million groups or more on Facebook. There are millions. I was in troll groups under different aliases because people block you and report you when you post something that isn't allowed on Facebook. So I had over maybe 20 troll accounts. And this was way back in 2013. And I would just troll with people. If they said something, I would find the truth. If they were talking about people, I would call them out. It wasn't accountability then. They called it trolling. And then I realized that I was investing a lot of my time in these troll groups doing evil stuff. When I say evil, if somebody said, I hate Black women, they all need to die, I would say, is this your sister? And the sister looked crazy. And that's what I would do. And that's not right. That's not right. If he feels like we all need to die, that's his opinion. But at the time, I wanted war, you know? It was fun. We had a lot of fun in those troll groups, but I saw that it was taking a lot from me. And I was better than that. So I left those troll groups. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do better. I'm not going to try to be evil with people. I just want to tell people this ain't right. But they'll still say you're evil because you're calling out something that they didn't want to be called out. So I deactivated every troll account I had, and I kept my real pages that have my real government name. Nothing to hide. So when I started on Facebook, I remember people will say something on Facebook like it was always about child support. And because I worked for the state, I knew some of the things they were saying, and I knew the truth, and I knew if it was a lie. So I would tell women that isn't true. You can't do that. And they would say, what are you talking about? And I would challenge them. I never said I figured you'd say that, but I would reply with the facts. And people were like, damn, so she knows about child support. So people used to inbox me on Facebook back in 2014 and 15. Hey, can you tell me about what can I do with this child support? And I would give them free gems. Never charge them. I never made it a big thing. I would just give them free advice. Hey, so when I put in the modification and it says this, what do I do? Hey, can I do this? Hey, they're doing a random visit. That's what I heard. When they do random visits, do they check the closet? I told them what we looked for because I wanted people to be prepared and I didn't want people to lose their kids, right? And then it went from that to people adding me into child support groups. I was added into a lot of child support groups. There were some that were men against baby mamas or women against baby daddies. I was in all those groups. And that's when I started getting people online. When they would come in there with a lie or they'll show a pay stub, I knew the percentage was wrong. I knew that wasn't right. I would hit them with the facts. I still had paperwork. And guys, they didn't like me. They would boot me out of the groups. They would block me. I didn't understand why people were getting mad at me showing the truth. So I'm like, dang, people really do get mad. And I kept doing it that way. I never went viral. Nobody never said, oh, yeah, I heard about you here, because that wasn't the whole point. I was only trying to bring the truth. So when I got my first degree in criminal justice in 2015, I continued to do that. But then I started talking to people, men and women. And it wasn't called coaching then. I was just giving them, I was like a mentor. I was just helping them. I was mentoring them, and they would show me text receipts. They would show me things that the baby mama said or the baby daddy said. And I'm like, wow, can I share this? And I started to share it. I used to share it with the numbers on it. So if anybody knows, when I used to put those text receipts out, I used to show the phone numbers, and then I started getting reported on Facebook because that wasn't allowed. So in 2016, I refined it, and I would start covering up the phone number because I didn't know that that wasn't allowed. If somebody sent it to you, they're sending it and they're giving you permission, but that's a real number, duh, right? So I started to cover it up, and I started there. I started with text receipts. And then I also would get stories from men and women. Hey, I'm inviting my girlfriend to my family's birthday, and I don't like what she wears. So they would send me stories, and I would ask people, are they wrong? Who's wrong, man or woman? So I started my reign with text receipts and are they wrong? Who's wrong in this scenario? And these were real stories. People would send me real stories, and I find like a Google picture to match the story, and then I would post it and say who's wrong. And those stories would go viral. 20,000 shares, 30,000 shares. And this was before people were getting paid, right? I didn't care about getting paid. I just want to ask, hey, who's wrong? It was posted on the Shade Room. It was posted everywhere. My stories were everywhere. I just didn't know how to put my IG on it, nothing like that. I didn't know to do that stuff. But then I started to get better. I started to get better with my posting. And then I remember in 2019, I started getting added to all these crazy groups where people would act like they're somebody different. But in real life, they were totally different than what they were saying in the group. And I would start exposing people. I exposed pastors. I exposed people that were of the cloth. A pastor talking about he like booty. And I'm like, isn't your church A&E Tabernacle? I was catching them, y'all. It wasn't just women. I used to catch men first in these groups. They were reckless. Oh, my baby mama and me at the gym. And I would find the real picture of their baby mama. Like, this don't look like the one you just posted. And then they would block me. Men used to block me too. I just never got to show that on my actual Facebook because I was scared to do it because I thought I was going to get blocked or reported. So I never did that until one day a woman came into a group and said she got invited to Applebee's and the guy must have been a broke bum. And she went in on this guy. She said, you chose Applebee's and I'm making six figures and, we should be at somewhere, She said, if you would have saw the look on his face, he looked dumb when I broke him down and told him I own stocks. I got my own business. I got an expensive car. That blew me. I said, this is how you women are. And I responded to her and I told her she wasn't shit. And that story went viral. That post went. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to share it on my Facebook. And I'm going to blur out everything because then they can't take me down. And guys, I was right. And that was the first post that I got out of a group that I actually shared on my Facebook. And it got over almost 45,000 shares. And to this day, everybody still talks about that post. It was shared everywhere. And it was under my original pic. Now, you guys know the picture I have on my Facebook is my ninja pic. Before that, I actually used to have my real pictures on there. So the ninja pic that's on my Facebook, that has been my Facebook profile pic for 9 years. So that should tell you how long I've been doing this. But the picture that I have of me catching somebody that lied about you should have saw the look on his face when I broke him down. That was my original picture. It wasn't the one with the ninja. That was the picture I used to use. So people didn't know that was me because it's two different pictures, right? I have a mask on one. So when I did that, everybody started adding me to groups. I was added to There was one time I was added to over 300 and something groups. Some of them were freaky groups, so I had to leave them and block them because I'm not into that. I wasn't into none of that, you know. I only wanted to be in groups that were manageable, where they control what people are doing in there. You got some groups that have like over 200,000 people, so whenever they make a post, it goes down to the bottom because people are constantly posting. That's why you won't see a lot of likes or a lot of reactions, because everybody didn't see it. If you're in groups that have thousands of members, y'all know what I'm talking about. It always gets bumped to the bottom. You have to keep commenting to bring it to the top. But you're going against thousands of people commenting too, right? On other posts. So it's hard to find it. So I learned how to do this in groups. And I realized that when I would catch somebody, I knew they were going to block me or report me. So I always took a picture right after I made a comment because I knew what was going to happen. But I learned not to disrespect people. I learned not to reciprocate the name calling. That way I wouldn't lose my page. Because guys, when I was on Facebook, I was in so many like bans. They bet in 1 year, I was banned for half the year. 30 day, 30 day, 30 day. They kept giving me 30-day bans. Women would go back and report stuff from 2014. One time I got on a 30-day ban because I told someone I would beat them in basketball. I was on a 30-day ban. Somebody reported it. They consider beat as a word like I'm going to hurt them. So I started to notice that women were reporting my page at high rates, creating groups to bash me. Let me tell y'all something. We know that Kevin Samuels, he was hated by women because they did not like the truth. Then you have Derek Jackson, who is loved by women. What is the difference? Derek Jackson comforts Black women with lies. Kevin Samuels hit Black women with the ugly truth. Black women don't want to hear the ugly truth. They want you to lie to them and say, it's okay to lie on social media. Get your money, queen. You are beautiful. You deserve to lie to get people to like your post. If you have to lie and make up a lie about Black men or a situation that never happened just to go viral, that's a mental illness. That's why they're trying to take it away from kids. That's why they're taking away TikTok. Because a lot of people make up stuff based off of real life. It's like there was a woman who made a prank to her baby daddy and told him, yeah, let's have sex. And they had sex. She thought it would be funny to prank him and say he now has AIDS. It sounded funny. Yay, this is going to be fun. But before she can get out that she was joking, she got shot in the head. Do y'all see what the fuck I'm saying today? Is it not registering? Before she can tell him she was just playing, she got shot in the head and died. And what do people do? Oh, she was such a sweet person. She has kids. She was a mother. She was innocent. No, she wasn't innocent. No, she wasn't. She lied. And it was funny to her at the time because she got the views and the likes and the comments. Yes, bitch. Until she got unalived. Now it's not funny anymore. And what I learned about Black women over the course of my accountability reign, they will never accept it because they don't like it. They don't want another Black woman telling them, hey, sis, there's other ways to go viral. That right there is doing too much. It's doing too much for them. Every Black woman that I catch online now, they're saying I'm harassing them. Let me remind you, Black women, something. When you make a post on Facebook to the public, I can do whatever the fuck I want to with your post. I don't have to tag you. I don't have to ask for your permission. That's why it's public. It's public. But what I'm finding recently is the same women that I'm holding accountable, the women that I have court orders against will reach out to those women because they know they can't talk about me, but they know that this person can. And all they're doing is passing the baton. And now I'm going to put them on a docket and them on a docket. And it's going to keep going until a lot of these women get the fucking point. I told you guys last year that I learned a valuable lesson. Black women love to bait me. They'll talk about my mother. They'll talk about my abuse that I went through in my life. They'll say I'm crazy and I have a personality disorder. They'll say all these horrendous things with no receipts to avoid accountability. It's always harassment when you catch them. But I promise you, if I was telling them, hey, sis, this is funny. He said he was going to kill you. That is so funny. Let me share it. When I spoke to the police about the woman that I did the well-being check on, it hurt them to see a Black woman doing this to go viral. It hurt them because they said that they love the calls where they go on to the call and it's not a 911. This person is still alive. So we can educate them not to do this again. But imagine going on a call where you see a woman laying there on the floor with a big, big hole in her forehead over a fucking joke. Let me tell y'all something about social media. It ain't funny. When you're lying about a man not being the father and he's telling you the cops better beat me to your house. That's not funny. And I want to remind you, this Black woman texts herself these messages. That's an illness. And she's a mother. She has a young child, young kids. And this is what she's doing. And now she's shocked that the cops came to her house. What do you expect people to do when they think somebody's coming to kill you? Keep scrolling? Share it? No. All those people that shared it, it just tells you how the world is. Somebody said that if the Titanic went down now, you'll see a bunch of phones in the water because that's all they do. Nobody wants to actually call somebody out. They want to participate in the foolery. How are we impacting the next generation? And you got these young dummies who will call me old. I don't give a fuck. I hope you get to my age. You won't get there doing what you're doing. I learned when I was young and somebody older would tell me, man, you're loud. Man, you need to be quiet. Shut your old ass up. Shut your old, wrinkly, tired ass up. That's why you old. I look like the fool. They're older. Wisdom. A lot of these young people are not even reaching our age because they're doing this dumb shit online. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And then they're so stupid because they didn't go to school, they didn't go to college, that they think that they can tell you they're going to sue you. Sue me for doing a well-being check. Guys, I can't make this up. A lot of our young Black women are dumber than a box of rocks. They know how to install wigs. They know how to do hair. They know how to rap. They know how to shake their asses. They know how to go viral, but they don't know how to do the right thing. Are you kidding me? And when people warn them, Daphne is not the one you want to mess with. Fuck Daphne. I ain't scared of that bitch. She ain't shit. And then 2 minutes later, I'm going to sue Daphne. I'm suing her. I'm suing her. Y'all see how the tide tell? Because they go back and they look at what I've done and they're like, oh shit, she is a big deal. She is somebody for real. Wow. She solved a Houston case and she lives in Illinois. Woo. Maybe I am barking up the wrong tree. They may even act like they're not scared, but they're terrified. Yeah. I mean, this is what Black women do. They'll say that I'm not real. They will say that I'm a man. They'll say that I'm being sent by a man. All that isn't true. Guys, the reason why I do this accountability stuff is because somebody did it to me and it saved my life. Let me tell y'all, when I learned to shut the fuck up, when I learned to stop projecting my insecurities on to Black men and Black women, I learned that in my teens. I learned that in my early 20s to do better. It took a man telling me that, but they can't tell women that today. That guy, Charles, that told me that I had an ugly mouth because everything that came out of it was evil. You can't tell a Black woman that today. Fuck you, you old dusty ass, busty ass, weak ass, non-viral ass. Because these women want to go viral. They will make up these stupid ass stories because they need the money, but telling me they're going to sue me. If Facebook is how you think you're going to get paid, then you shouldn't be talking about suing anybody. You shouldn't. Because what I'm saying to you guys, what made me contact the police on this woman, and when I say contact the police, I didn't contact them and say arrest her. I said, can you do a well-being check? She took this story too far. She never said it was a joke until I exposed her. Then she went on her page and posted my face, my mental health website, and she posted where I live. She posted the surrounding areas like she was a gangster, like she was gonna do something. Like that was supposed to scare me. I can post Drake's house right now and the surrounding areas. I can post any celebrity where they live. What are you gonna do about it? Okay, you posted my address. What the fuck are you gonna do? You're a mother. You're not gonna do shit. But they do that. If you do it to the wrong person, that can get you killed. You posting somebody's address, let's say they got kids that live there. Now you've put their kids in jeopardy. Now they're coming to see you. Y'all see how so when I say I'm going to child services, that's why. Because she didn't only do that to me. She did that to a few people. And let me tell you, when men tell you you're going to take a dirt nap, when men tell you I'm following them and they start threatening you in the comments, you got to believe some of those threats. I took a screenshot of 70 of the thousands of comments about this woman. One person said, I know where you live. I've seen you around the way. Another person said, you did my cousin's hair, so you're not hard to catch. And she's still laughing. They're not going to catch me. Do you know some people will tell someone, hey, book a braid appointment with her. Tell them you want to get your hair braided. And then I'm going to pull this bitch's wig back. That's how easy it is to set her up. But she's online. They're never going to get me. And you're doing hair out of your apartment where your kids are. This is why, guys, I try my best to help these Black women because they're not all there. But they were confused what I'm doing with harassment. And it's not. It's not harassment if you posted it publicly. But since I exposed her 3 days ago, she's made over 20 posts about me. 20. And then she started sharing posts that came from people that I have court orders against. She didn't even do her research. People can say anything about me, but if there's no receipt, then it's just allegations. That's life. But she found one person that said that I was a bad person out of the millions on Facebook. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Kevin Samuels had millions, and he didn't stop what he was doing. He kept calling women a two. He kept saying they need to lose weight. And women kept calling in, didn't they? It saddens me that Black women don't understand my motive. Black women don't understand what I'm trying to do for them. They don't understand that. They never will. And I want to say shout out to my family on Twitter. I know you guys can't see this in the chat, but right now we're almost at 500 people listening to this show. So thank you guys. I hope I'm not boring you guys out. But I want you guys to know that when it comes to accountability, it's kryptonite for Black women because they went through their whole lives being told that they're right. And that same woman that was lying about someone about to kill her over them not being the father, other Black women were encouraging it. You're my favorite person on Facebook. I fucking love you, sis. You're wonderful. Other Black dummies, other Black women. The Black men weren't saying that. And let me tell you guys, the saddest part about this whole thing, I did reach out to her dad. I reached out to her dad on Facebook. All I said was, hello, sir, because I wanted him to respond. Instead of him reaching back out to me, he sent that to his daughter. This woman also said that her mother passed away. So I felt like she was kind of acting like I was, but I wasn't doing that at 26. I was way past that. I was already in a relationship. I learned from my mistakes. So I thought dad was going to say, how can I help you? Instead, he tips off his daughter. And when I went to her dad's page, God this, Jesus, God, Jesus Christ, love, don't hate, do right. And he tips his daughter off. Now, what if his daughter was really in jeopardy and somebody was really trying to kill her? He didn't help. He aided. So yeah, if you're listening to this as her father, you failed her. I grew up with my father and he would have never did that shit. He would have been like, how can I help you? I just want to let you know that your daughter put her life in jeopardy and your grandbabies. That's all I was going to tell him, but he tipped her off. So you got a lot of these dads who are worthless as well and don't give a fuck until their kid is a hashtag. Then it's my baby. Why, God? Well, I tried to help you. Let me tell you, there is no future in lying on people. There's no future. And one thing this woman does to go viral, Facebook allows you to tag every one of your followers. She thinks having followers means that you are important. Y'all know I got 90,000 followers on Facebook. If I want all 90,000 of them to see everything I post, all I have to do is hit @followers in the comments. I've never done that in the history of having Facebook. I don't care if they see it or if they don't see it. I'm not craving attention. I'm only posting and going. Y'all know I got accounts all over YouTube, Twitter that have a lot of followers. So I don't crave it. I don't need to make up a story. That's why I told you guys when it comes to text receipts, you now have these pages now trying to be like me. So some people will say, that looks like something Daphne will post. You hear that a lot because I have been doing text receipts since 2016. So these people can sit there and say, oh, she's copying. No, I'm not. Not all of my text receipts are going to go viral. That's not the point. I'm doing it like I was doing it 8 years ago. Nothing's going to change. The only difference is when I get a text receipt, I verify. If I wasn't verifying it and I wanted to go viral like this person, I would just be throwing shit out there. But on TikTok, almost all of my text receipts were reported because when I get a text receipt, I need to know the pages of the person that's in this receipt. Who is this? My baby mama. What's her Facebook name? What's her Twitter name? I block them everywhere because I don't want them to report me because some of that is them. I might get the receipt from the baby daddy, but it doesn't mean that the baby mama can't report me. She absolutely can. So now I have to verify all social medias before I post it. That's why you don't see text receipts every day. I verify. And if somebody would have sent me a text receipt of a woman, her life in danger, I'm not posting that. What are we doing? And now if I do post it, there's going to be an update. I did contact the police. The person is in jail. We good. But I would never post it just to go viral. That's what she did. And unfortunately, guys, you know, a lot of Black women are going to continue to attack me because they don't like what I'm doing. They can, and then I think the biggest rumor that I'm hearing online right now about me is that I call people's jobs and I get them fired. But they have no receipts of me recklessly calling somebody's job. If you call me a bitch, if you call me ugly, if you call me a man, if you call me an attention seeker, a narcissist, all these low budget names I'm hearing, I don't call people's jobs for that. What I do call people's jobs for is that post my address, threaten my life, threaten kids, threaten people. Yeah, I'm calling your job. Because if you wanted the job and you loved the job, you wouldn't risk your job. You feel what I'm saying, guys? Some of these people don't have jobs. Their job is doing hair and nails. So they feel like they can keep, but let me tell you what you're doing. If you're a brand and you have a clothing line, a hairline, whatever it may be, if people see that you're doing this for attention, they're not going to support your shit. They're not, because you're doing it the wrong way. A lot of these Black women have severe mental issues themselves. They know how to call you a narcissist, but they're not understanding that the definition is them. I haven't heard that word so much since last year to now. 2 years ago, I wasn't hearing that word like that. But that's a Black woman's favorite word. You're a narcissist, and it's actually them. Usually, somebody that's in the clinical field, that's in the healthcare, they're going to tell you that that's your problem. But a Facebook person, nah, I wouldn't take that from a grain of salt, y'all. What I'm trying to tell you guys is that Black women don't like me because they don't like me to expose what they want to keep in the dark. Nobody looks at me trying to help Black women. And you know what? I want to give a shout out. There was like 15 Black women on that woman's post. Somebody said, how is Daphne stalking you? Well, because she posted my story and said I lied. Okay, so your life is in danger? No, I said I was just playing. Okay, but you said you were playing days after the fact when Daphne exposed you. Now you're calling her a stalker. And now you're looking for someone who also called her a stalker to try to create a pattern. That's not going to work. You even have Black women saying, I hope he beats the police there to your house. Black women that wanted her to be harmed too, because they were so disgusted. One woman said, this triggered the father of my child. He tagged me and we don't even get along, but he tagged me because this angered him. that you're playing about something that's real life for a lot of these men. Finding out that a child isn't yours and a woman saying, well, it's between you and 4 men. Figure it out. That can get you unalived real quick. Especially if that man spent hundreds and thousands of dollars and maybe even had his license taken and you're joking about lying. That can get you unalived really quick. I don't understand what's going on with our Black women. And they would rather, so would you rather a white woman call you out? Would you rather a Hispanic call you out? Or would you rather your own call you out? Make a decision. Because if a white woman calls you out, you're going to cuss her out. You're not even Black. That's what they're going to say. If a Mexican calls you out, you're not us. Y'all want to be us. So what is it going to be? If y'all don't want me in your business, don't post it. And ever since she posted that text receipt, she's pushing out more fake text receipts. And whenever someone says, oh, we know you're lying now, Daphne already exposed you. That miserable bitch. She called me a bitch maybe 20, 30 times. She called a bunch of men bitches too. So yeah, I tried to reach out to her dad to show him that, hey, your daughter is tripping right now. And you have grandbabies. She's putting them in danger. Any Black woman that creates a fake story where people are threatening her life and people know how they can reach her and know where her kids live. You're telling me that that's not severe? You're telling me I should just keep going about my business? Well, I'm not. When she put my address out there, I knew what time she was on. This is what Black women do. Daphne wanted me to block her, but I'm not blocking her. She got the right one. She's a miserable bitch. She's old. She's stalking me. She's still on my page. Somebody said, you posted this woman like 30 times already. She only posted you once. She went to the page. She went to my post on the page on my page that I made about her and made like 30 comments. She kept copying and pasting. I had to disable it where she couldn't do it because she kept doing it. She's unhinged. Then she admitted to having a mental illness. This woman is crazy. And this is the same woman that has children. Yeah, I'm concerned. I tell Black women every day, there are many ways to go viral. If you're going to make up a fake text receipt, don't make up one that puts your life in danger or makes Black men look like shit. Because you're asking for this stuff. She even made a post where somebody figured out her phone number and said, you guys are weirdos. They're weirdos. What about you making up fake stories about being in danger? Crying wolf. What happens when it's really happening? Everybody's going to laugh. Oh, she's just playing, right? And now you Black women are mad about Black men choosing white women. Well, you see why? Guys, look, I'm on Facebook all the time. And every time I'm tagged in something, 99% of the time it's from somebody Black. You don't see, since y'all want to call them white women, you don't see white women doing this behavior. Yeah, I was going out with Ken, my baby daddy, and I told him that I have an illness and he has it now. Good luck, bitch. You just don't see it. You don't. So it looks like I'm attacking Black women. But Black women, y'all putting it out there. If you don't put it out there, I wouldn't have the content. So I'm sorry if you don't like what I'm doing, but it's not going to stop. But if you're going to start harassing me and posting my address and doing all that bullshit, you will be on a docket. I have no problem. I'm not going to sit here and incriminate myself. One thing I need a lot of these Black women to know, if I block you, it's for your safety, not mine. Because I have partnerships and I have things that I'm doing that I'm not going to let you ruin. So when I tell you I've already exposed you and I'm done with you and you continue to attack, then I have to put you on a docket. I'm not going to sit here and say, well, you know what? You posted my address. Come show up so I can shoot you in the head. You're not going to get that from me. But that's what they want. Got her, y'all. We got her. Okay, call the police and tell them that they threatened me. Okay, let's take her to court. This is a game for a lot of these women. It's not a game for me no more, y'all. So after I had already exposed her for lying and people already seen it, and she was like, well, your post exposed me, didn't go viral. Ha, ha, ha. You know what? That's not my life. I'm not sitting here begging to go viral. But if you look at a lot of my posts over the years, I still have posts that had nothing to do with a text receipt. I have a post about Cardi B that's at 500,000 shares. I didn't get no check for it because I don't care. It's not hard going viral. It isn't if you're doing it the right way. I don't need to tag my followers. She's nothing without tagging those followers because that's the only way they'll see the post and share it. But for a Black woman like her to live off of Facebook, it's a dangerous game. She also has 8 Facebooks. So when she makes a post, she'll share them on all those pages first and make those shares private so she can keep sharing it. It's an illness. It's an illness. You'll never see those shares that she's sharing to the pages that are private. It'll just say it was shared. That's another tactic. And they're sharing about 50 times a day to make it look like it went viral, and it didn't. It's a dangerous game out here, ladies. And all I'm telling you is that I'm not going away. On that post she made, my name was tagged at least 100 times because people were concerned. Imagine me being concerned about a Black woman and she flips it into harassment. Imagine being on the phone with the police for a long time as they're scrolling through this person's many Facebooks and they see that she is a sick individual. And they tell me those calls they get where people were just joking and somebody got hurt, the saddest calls in the world because they were joking, but the other person wasn't. When I hold people accountable, you guys, I don't do it to hurt people. I do it to help them because if nobody held me accountable, I wouldn't be here. I'd be dead. I think the scariest thing that someone's ever told me in my life is, did you know that there were several people that wanted to kill you because of your mouth? The scariest thing I ever heard in my life. And I wouldn't have deserved being killed. Damn. But that's how angry I got these people. Well, I was just playing. Well, they weren't playing. Y'all see what I'm saying today? At any time, they could have did it. They knew my whereabouts. They knew when I went to the gym and when I was leaving the gym. I was a mark and I didn't even know it. But it took other men that saw the best in me to help me and save my life. A Black man saved my life. My dad would have been very disappointed. My dad would have been very hurt coming to a park and seeing blood and all that, knowing that his daughter was unalived because of her mouth. So I'm thankful. So I'm just trying to give these women the same gems, but it's coming from a woman. You're not hearing it from a man, but they don't want to hear it. Black women are the hardest to try to convince to do better because they're stuck in their own ways. They don't want to change. They don't see that there's something better out there for them. Instead, they want to go about it the easy way and the sleazy way. Tupac said, well, you know, when someone said that they wanted to do stuff the bad way, he said, well, I got to get paid. You don't have to do wrong to get paid. Because if you do wrong, there's something called payback. Y'all feel what I'm saying? And it's not worth it. But a lot of you women won't understand me until something happens. Then you'll wish that I was there. Because a lot of these domestic situations we hear about where these Black women are unalived, it's all on TikTok. How many Facebook Lives have y'all seen where the man shoots her on live for fucking around and playing games? Keep playing, Tisha. Keep playing. And I'm going to shoot you. Okay. Oh, you ain't going to do shit. You ain't going to do shit, bum ass nigga. Pow! Right there on Facebook Live. Maybe I should have posted some of those videos when they were just playing. So y'all can see that it's not a game. A lot of these men, they're not playing around with y'all no more. But you don't want to hear from me. It's not funny. I've seen a few lives where a man really harmed a woman and it broke my heart because she thought he was playing. And they will laugh and say, y'all, that nigga ain't gonna do nothing. Oh, he ain't gonna do shit. He acting like a little bitch right now. Bap! Live ended. Live ended. And then what do we hear? Oh, she was so sweet. She didn't deserve it. She was innocent. Right? How many times we hear that? My baby didn't do nothing. That's why those white people laugh at us. And they call us the didn't do. Because they say that that's what Black mothers always say. My baby didn't do nothing. When they did a lot. And when people were trying to warn you about your baby, you didn't want to hear it. I'm only trying to help, guys. That's all I'm trying to do. Accountability is real to me, and it's going to continue to be inside of me because it's the right thing to do. A lot of you women are going to hate me to the depths, and that's okay. But if you want to try to bait me into, making a threat to you, I don't have to do that. I know you're not going to come out here to Illinois. I know you're not going to show up at my house. It's all talk. But if you're going to be out there showing my address and things like that, like when people say, if you point a gun at me, you better be ready to use it. So if you're going to post my address to threaten where I live, to get people to act, it's okay. Where I live, you paying for the area. I came from the gutter. I came from living in really bad situations where it might be a nice apartment or a nice condo, but the area is ugly. Y'all feel what I'm saying? So when you come from that and now you're living in a beautiful area where you can leave your door unlocked, leave your garage open. Oops, I forgot to put the garage down. That's how great the area is. I'm not scared. Anyone that comes through this area, people know if they live here or if they don't. That's what you pay for. That's why it costs a lot to live here. And I'm very thankful that God got me here. So when you're posting my house, am I supposed to say, oh, shoot, she's posting how good I'm living. Let me go in the corner and cry. But now that you've posted it, what happens next? Are you coming? She even said, do I want to meet her? A lot of these people think it's funny until it's not funny. But you're the same person that was saying somebody actually texted me. How'd they get my number? That is so weird. You were scared when they got your phone number, but you're asking me if I want to meet you. Women are going to continue to hate me because they don't like what I'm doing. And when they have nothing to use against me, they're going to insult me. I'm always going to be ugly, a narcissist, a stalker. I'm going to be all these things. And when I contacted the police to let them know how far this got, and they laugh with you, well, I don't see how you're going to be in trouble for having us do a well-being check. Because when we do a well-being check, there's times where we check on someone and they give them a thumbs up. Everything's good. That's not a crime. It is not a crime to do a well-being check on someone because you're concerned. I promise you it's not a crime. And you can't get sued and you can't go to jail. But it is a crime to lie to law enforcement. It is a crime to file a false police report, which I didn't do. But a lot of these women don't see the benefits of what I did for them. But there was a few Black women that saw it. Someone said to her, you're mad at Daphne for having the police do a well-being. Because the way this Black woman will say it is, she called the police on me, y'all, because she's scary. She a bitch. She a scaredy cat. She ain't about that life. She called the police on me. That is not the truth. The police did a well-being check. There is a difference. Your wording means everything. So the Black woman said, you're mad at Daphne, a Black woman who saw that a Black woman was in danger, according to her comments of her saying, I'm really scared. My life is in danger. So you're mad at a Black woman for doing something to help another Black woman, but it turns out that Black woman was full of shit. And now you're mad at her. Yeah, because it wasn't her fucking business. She's old and miserable. She needs to mind her business. Minding my business means making it private. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Make your post private, but you can't because then you can't go viral, right? But now that the police know what you do, they have access to your page. Eventually, Facebook is going to crack down on these fake stories that lead to like violence because it's called inciting violence when people threaten to kill you. And if somebody was threatening to kill me on one of my posts, I wouldn't take it lightly. I've seen people actually do it. Oh, they're not going to do that. You should take a dirt nap. You first. That's what she's doing on the post. Oh, I can't wait till somebody unalives you. Come do it. You're talking this tough talk all day long when you know you're not tough. You're a scared little person with kids. Usually when women have kids, they're supposed to act different because you're living for them. What you do reflects them, right? So any mother that puts her life in danger and her living environment in danger where her kids lay, I have to report it. And I will always do that. If you don't want me to do it, stop doing the bullshit. Guys, at the end of the day, I know that a lot of people are not going to respect me, and I'm not asking for everybody to respect me. I'm not. But you will understand that eventually I'm not going to stop. It'll finally click to you that I'm not. Now, if I get into an incident like with this woman where they can't stop talking about me, I will block you. And like I said, I'm not blocking you because I'm scared of you, but you're not going to go on all my Facebook posts and start spamming because you got caught. That's not what we're going to do. Typically, when I tell someone I figured you'd say that, they back off because they know what harassment is. This woman literally has been harassing me the past 3 days, telling everybody she's going to sue me. Everybody says that. I have never in my life been sued. I'm still waiting. These women don't have money to even pay their bills, let alone sue. It's easier to say it because it sounds good. Yeah, girl, sue that bitch. Sue her for all the money she got because I know you balling. A woman that's making a fake story on Facebook to get engagement is not balling. People that ball, you can tell. You can tell when they got money. They're balling. And so a lot of people that you think got money in public, they're borrowing in private. Understand that. They ain't got no money, but you guys look up to these people. Listen, ladies, if you have young daughters, understand that they're going to follow what you do. Young sons, they're going to follow what you do. What legacy are you going to leave? Because my mother left an incredible legacy, and she wasn't even here that long on this earth. My dad has taught me values and to be a better person. And I know that a lot of people are not going to respect that, and I get that. But I need you guys to understand that I'm not going to stop doing this. It saddens me when Black women don't understand that I'm trying to help them. There's so many gifts that Black women have that they haven't tapped into yet because they're so busy scamming. Like I told y'all, Rhoda continued to scam people by saying Black men were whooping her ass when it was really women whooping her ass. But if you got to know what she's done in her past, her acting, she could have went that way and acted. She could have did Tyler Perry shows. Even she had a gift. It seems to me on paper, when it comes to school, she's intelligent. But in the streets, she's dumb. Just because somebody has a degree, it doesn't mean that they're street smart. But even Rhoda had a gift. And that's why I said that after all this is over, I would still help Rhoda. I would still try to help her if she wanted the help. That's who I am. I don't want to see people, be hurt or harmed. If you have a gift, I want to help you get that gift out there. That woman that talked about her baby daddy trying to kill her and making up the story, she can do hair. And it's not bad work. I'm friends with a lot of people who are way above her that do hair for the stars. And I could have helped this woman go a different way. She doesn't realize that I could have changed her life. But a lot of them don't see that because they want to aid into the hate against Black women. That's why I said Black women, a lot of them have no right asking Black men to respect them when they don't even respect each other. There's so many Black women that I have exposed for lying about something very serious, like sexual assault, being killed or being harmed. And they actually had a gift behind those lies that we could have explored on. But women don't want to go the easy way. Just like with BBLs. They don't want to work out for 3 years to achieve a good body. They want to lay on a table in 3 hours and get it done. Women don't want to work hard and put their brand out there the right way. They want to make up a story and blame Black men to go viral. That's why a lot of Black women will never make it. That's why a lot of these Black athletes will continue to bring white women with them to the top. Because look how women act when they don't have money. So imagine how they're going to act when millions are in play. They're going to act a fucking fool. These Black men already see it, and they don't want to go through it. You'll even have the Black mothers not even, they're mad that their son chose a white woman. But it's because of their Black mothers is why they chose the white woman. See? But we don't want to explore that. We will. I'm going to explore that on my next show. I'm going to change it around. Because a lot of these Black mothers are the reason that these Black athletes got white women. You made their life hell. They don't want another you. And that's sad because Black women, when we're young and we see how our fathers love our mothers, we want someone like that. We want a man that exhibits those qualities that our father had, being supportive and loving and caring, right? These men, they don't want nobody close that looks like their mama. Black nothing. They hate Black women because of their Black mothers. But a lot of people don't want to be honest with that. They don't. Before my ex who abused me got with me, he was dating white women. He just gave me a chance. Let that sink in. A lot of his exes, he cheated on me with white women. That's what I went through because his Black mother abused him and took away his whole, he was just giving me a chance. Well, let me give this Black woman a chance and see how this goes. And I got beat up. But it was because of a Black woman. So a lot of these athletes who are getting signed to these big deals, there's a video out there where the mother didn't even want to touch the white girl, right? And everybody was like, see, Black men, this is why you got to choose us. No, it's not. He chose that white woman for a reason because she's loving him and supporting him and was probably supporting him when he had nothing. Yeah, baby, I'm in school. I'm getting financial aid. Can you help me with this? Okay. Can you help me with my phone bill? Okay, I got you. No problem. What else you need? You know what? I actually set up this little fund for you. I got your back. Black women, oh my goodness. You can't get my nails done? Well, baby, I'm in school. I'm an athlete. I don't even have time to hold a job down because I have to work hard so I can one day make it to the NFL. Stop pipe dreaming. Go sell them things. Take out extra loans and get that FAFSA check. Come on. I've seen this happen, you guys. I'm not making it up. You mean to tell me you want to be broke and in school? Tyrone, you're going to have to make more money than that. That is why they're choosing Becky's. And if Becky's make them happy, then hey, ladies, you got to let these men be happy. But I'm telling you, a lot of these Black athletes choose white women because they want nobody that resembles their mother. Color, attitude, they've been through it for years. And they don't want to have that in their household. They might have seen their mothers use their fathers, take from their fathers. And they assume that all Black women are going to be like their mothers. So blame the mothers. Don't blame the Black athletes. Let's start being honest with ourselves. But see, that's another conversation because I know women are going to hate me for that. But if you guys would stop being so aggressive and lying, any man that sees a woman lying online to go viral, why would he be with her? Because it's just going to be a matter of time. He sexually assaulted me. He abused me. I'm pregnant. That's what happens. If they lie online about some shit that never happened, what do you think they would do offline? It's dangerous. These women believe that this is real. This woman texted herself that she was coming to kill herself. It's an illness, y'all. A lot of our men are like I said, it's a war. And Rhoda didn't cause this war. She aided in the war, but the war has been going on for years. Black men against Black women. And anytime a Black man chooses a white woman, he's a sellout. But when he wanted you, you didn't want him. I don't want you. You ain't got no money. What can you bring to the table? I'm trying to get my nails done, my hair done. A lot of these women are single because these men are not paying them to be with them. It should never be that way. Money should never make these women twerk and be happy with life. So a lot of these snow bunnies, they know their role. Whether he makes it or not, they got his back. I remember when I was in high school, my white friends always had money. And I used to love being around them. We would go, when at lunchtime, oh, you know what? I left my lunch money at home, knowing I didn't. Can you cover me? Okay. I got you, Daphne. Damn. I was like, but let it be a Black person. You know what? I left my lunch. Damn. Like, you left it at home. I'm going to need my money back today. See the difference? We all had those white friends in school that took care of the tab. Tell me I'm lying. That hasn't changed. And a lot of women, Black women will say that I cater to white people. She don't even like her own kind. She only caters to whites. That's why she's always posting about Blacks. But they're not seeing that this content I'm getting, a Black person posted it. So what gives you the right to say that I can't post it? Let me tell y'all something. I want these Black women to know that there's something in you that you can tap into and do well with. You just have to find it. And I always offer help to Black women. They just don't want my help. I'm married. I've been through domestic violence. I've been through abuse. I've been through mental issues. I've done all of that. I've been through death. Somebody died in my family. I'm sorry. That sounded weird. I've been through almost dying, but I've been through losing a lot of people too in my life. I've been through half of what y'all been through already. So why wouldn't you want to go through me? And even with all these traumas that went on in my life, I'm married to a Black man. See, a lot of Black women would have gave up on Black men after being abused for almost 4 years. That would have been the final straw. But I learned in my life from my dad, all Black men are not the same. And if you put into them love and support and understanding, they're going to pour it back into you times 10. That's what my husband did for me. He remembered that when I met him, I wasn't going through this like at the rate I'm going through it now. When he needed me, I had his back. The little things is what he remembered. And he said, I'm not going to let this Black woman go because she had my back when I was fresh out of college. No job yet, looking for a career while she was working for the state, holding it down. He was looking for a career. I wasn't messed up then. I didn't have my nervous breakdown then. It happened about a year later. That's life. But he remembered how I poured into him. And I never once said, oh my gosh, you can't find 6 figures? Like, come on, you got a degree, use it. That ain't me, y'all. No, that was not me. We had a system. I poured into him and he poured back into me times 10 when I needed him. And now we're both in a really great position in our lives. It's been a while since I can say, you know what? I live in a beautiful neighborhood. I remember living in the rough part of Chicago, but it made me stronger. It made me better than who I am today. So when people talk about me living in a white neighborhood, tell me where the bad part is on that. You got these celebrities living in mega mansions and their neighbors are white. That's just because of the area they chose. Some people want a peace of mind. That's all. A peace of mind. So talking about the good things in my life don't hurt me. And whenever somebody brings up something you said years ago, that's because they're intimidated by your present. I don't live there anymore. I live here today. A lot of these millionaires, like, it's funny. Kendrick Lamar is trending over the beef with Drake. They posted his address in Calabasas. This man has a freaking mega mansion. His house is on Zillow. They put his whole government name out there. Kendrick Lamar Duckworth. And I was like, damn, that's how the internet is. And then the next thing was his address. He lives in a rich part of town in Calabasas. But before that, he was living in Compton. And people were like, look at his old nasty looking house. What does that got to do with today? He ain't living there today. So what does that do for you Black women? The Black woman that didn't like Kendrick was doing that, posting his place. You can post Drake's house, all these people's houses. What's the point of it? You don't live there. Maybe you're jealous because you don't have what they have. But posting how great they're living, it's actually a win for me, not for you, honey. Black women, y'all got to do better. I really do hope that Black women do better. Because at the end of the day, y'all are not going to be any better than what you are now if you don't change. These Black men are sick of your shit, and so am I. I am absolutely sick of how you guys carry yourselves online. And what makes it worse, you can make fun of me for not having no kids, but you're struggling with them. So who's winning? I chose my life, just like you chose yours. So don't be mad because your choices involve you opening your legs to anybody. See, women always want you to feel bad. That's why you ain't got no fucking kids. You know, maybe your shit don't work. That's why. Or maybe you're a man. You know, there's a woman online, and I've seen this post so many times, but I saved it this time, and I said something back. She said, any woman in that's over 30 that doesn't have any kids, you're either a man or your shit don't work. Tell me, can y'all tell me what the positive, like what's positive about that? And this woman is just jealous because she's in her 30s with 4 kids, unmarried. They want you to feel like, oh man, she's right. Let me go out there and spread it and bust it open and have a kid. What are we teaching our kids? Any woman that's 30 and up with no kids, salute to you for being responsible with your body. You go, girl. Don't let nobody say that you're weak or you're not a woman because you're not a hoe, and that because you're not out there producing bastards. You're not wrong for that. And a lot of these women say they don't want a husband. They just want the kid. You're even more stupid than I thought. Y'all just mad because we made better choices with our vaginas and you didn't. Having a bunch of bastard kids and the fathers are not around, that's not a flex. That don't make you more of a woman than me. I'm married. You're not even married. None of them saw you as a wife. They saw you as a pump. That's it. That's nothing to be proud of. Y'all got to stop telling these next generation of women that they need to have a baby to be women. That is incorrect. And any woman that's being told that by her mother, her aunt, anyone in their life, please go get some help. That isn't true. We shouldn't be teaching our daughters to be hoes, to have kids with men that are not going to stick around to get their badge. That's bullshit. A lot of you mothers are wrong for that. And that's why your kids reach out to me. So them telling me that my shit don't work, that doesn't hurt my feelings. I made a choice to not have any children. That was a choice I made. And if I choose to adopt children or whatever I want to do in my life, that would be my choice. But not everybody wants kids, especially the way this world is today. It's dangerous out here. Then you'll see them make a post saying that, can someone come take their kids? They need a break. Oh, now you need a break. What a bad mother, right? See what I'm saying? I don't have those problems. So don't get mad at other women for making better decisions than you. And don't assume that we all came from silver spoons. We didn't. I had a wonderful childhood. My dad gets an A+. My dad stepped up and he did a great job with his daughters and his sons. Me and my other two sisters, none of us have kids. My two sisters, they're in relationships, but no kids. My dad did a damn good job. The only person that has kids is my brothers. Married brothers. That's who has kids. But my dad did great with us. It ain't just me that don't got none. My two older sisters don't either. And I'm not ashamed of that. I remember telling my dad, I don't know if he remembers this, I don't even want kids because my mom's not alive to see them. Oh, don't say that. Well, that was, I think that's what maybe I just said to myself, I never want kids because I don't have that mother there with me to say, look at my baby. You did that when you were a baby too. Oh yeah, it hits differently when you don't have your grandmother or your mother around. And I had neither. So what I'm saying, guys, is I made that choice. Not because my plumbing doesn't work. People are weird, but they want you to feel like something is wrong with you because it makes them feel better. I learned that with Black women, they attack me because that's what they're going through inside. And they want me to know I'm insecure. I'm broke. I have a bunch of bastard kids. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I don't get along with none of the fathers because of my mouth. They're telling me that, and not in so many words, but I'm breaking them down. This woman told me, aren't you married? Don't you got a husband? This is my favorite line that Black women use on me. You got a whole husband. Why the fuck are you online terrorizing people? So me being married means I can't have a Facebook, but you got kids at home. How is your attention on Facebook and not on your kids? Don't talk about my parenting. Kids are off limits. Oh, but my husband's not off limits. You see how these Black women try to flip the script on me? Every day it's like that. They'll talk about my husband and say, I need to be with my husband. Like I'm like 24 hours a day, I'm supposed to be right there under my husband. But they got kids. Which one you think requires more attention? Kids or an adult man? They don't want you to flip the script on them and say, well, you got babies at home. What are you doing on Facebook 24/7? I don't have any kids. I'm a grown ass woman and I'm married. And my husband gets the time that we get. He gets time too. I'm not on Facebook every 5 seconds. What are y'all talking about? So a lot of Black women love to do that too. Go be with your husband because they never have one. They will never have one. Well, I don't want one. Yes, you do. You wanted one. You opened your legs to a man. You know, the men you say you don't need. You opened your legs to him. You wanted something. You wanted something at that time. You're just mad that he didn't keep you. And then when they marry the next woman they get with, women go nuts. Well, your husband's probably cheating on you. I've been hearing that for what, 10 years now? That's a black woman's favorite line because they want me to feel insecure. Oh my gosh. Oh, he might be cheating. Let me go ahead and post a half naked selfie to bring everybody back. Never. It would never work with me. I know what I got. My husband knows what he has. Allegations. A black woman's favorite thing is allegations. Y'all can say what y'all want about me and mine, but it won't change the fact that you're wrong. Y'all can talk about me harassing and terrorizing women online with no receipts, but that's okay. There was a whole group created for me with 36,000 members back in 2018, around the time I was what they call terrorizing. Remember I told y'all, when I was in them groups, 2016, 2017, it made somebody very mad where they created a group, Daphne Ford Sutton Must Go. Or by Daphne Ford Sutton. It's on my Facebook. I keep it there to remind me that women hated me so bad that there was a group with 36,000 people and nobody told me anything. I know somebody that follows me knew about that group. I didn't find out about that group until years later. I got that group shut down in 2022. Their group was up, 2023? Or maybe it was 2023, I forgot. The group was up for like 5 years. 5 years. And they created it in May. So actually, we're coming up on the anniversary of them creating the group. And the group was to bash me. Anything I posted in Facebook, they shared it in the group and they would bash me. They talked about my mother. The person that alerted me of this group, they showed me things they were saying about my deceased mother. It hurt my feelings because that's how much they hate me. And I said, I don't know any of these women. That's the thing. Black women hate me so bad, not for something I did to them personally, but because I'm trying to make the world a better place. And they don't like that. Daphne, look the other way while we scam. Close your eyes while we steal and lie. Don't tell on us. When you're telling us, you're messing it up for us. That's what they say, guys. That's what they say. And at the end of the day, that's what people do. And when they told me about the stuff that was in that group, all I needed was the link. I didn't think that Facebook was going to take it down. I thought they were just going to remove the hate speech. But let me tell you, it was so bad. It was so bad in that group that Facebook took the entire group down to its knees. 36,000 members gone. Facebook gone. And then when you lose a group, they tell you, if this happens again, you will lose your actual account. They hated me when that group came down. But I don't know all the stuff that was in the group because I didn't get added to it. Y'all know they would have added me to the group because there was an amount of women monitoring who comes into the group. You had to hate me and you had to go on video. They had to make sure you were real. So 36,000 real people that hated me, damn. And it started in 2018. So that should tell y'all a lot. And the group was created by Black women. And when they tried to shut me down, I was wondering why I was getting reported a lot because they were mass reporting me. I figured out where all those bans came from. Those women were terrorizing me for 5 years and I didn't even know it. But this woman said when she got added and she went through the confirmation, yeah, I'm real, did the video, whatever it was, and she was in the group, she searched my name to look at certain stuff and found all that stuff about my mom. She said, it's one thing to hate me, but it's another thing to talk about someone who's no longer living that you didn't know, that did nothing to you. She said, it was so bad. And I told her, stay in there for me because I need you to tell me what happens. She sent me the link to the group and I reported the group and Facebook took them down. And I never forget, she told me, Daphne, the group is gone. It's gone. And then they created another group. They created a reloaded group and I got that one shut down too. There's still other ones out there that I don't know about, but I think the biggest one was that one. 36,000 women hated me and they said I must go. So, I mean, you shut it down late 2020. Yeah, I thought it was 2023 because I thought it was 5 years. But at the end of the day, that's a lot of hate. And the rule said they can hate, no hate speech unless it's on me. What kind of shit is that? So, guys, what I'm saying is black women have hated me for years for things I didn't do to them personally. They call me a fraud. They call me all these names because it makes them feel good at night. And honestly, even when some of those black women were attacking me, I remember I told my husband, this particular black woman is trying to release something and I want to help her get it out. He was like, what? He was like, what are you doing? This woman's been terrorizing you. Why are you trying to help her? Because, man, I see that they're trying to do something. Wake up, Daphne. This woman tried to destroy you. No, I have to go to my husband because there's sometimes where even though somebody might hate me, I still want to do something great for them because it's in me. It's in me. I was raised that way. I don't want to see women go down with records for stalking strangers online. That's a really nasty record to have when you're applying for a job and they see you have a no stalking order out of a whole nother state. That would scare any job. I don't want to see black women go down like that, but unfortunately, that's how a lot of them are going to go down. And all I've asked them to do was leave me alone. And I find it funny. One thing I learned is if you cut someone off, you're not giving them no more of your time or energy. So you can't say you cut someone off, but you talk about them every day. That means you're obsessed and you love them. That means you still care about them. I let you guys hear my friend Shy, who I met on Facebook, a black woman, and we never even had a disagreement. So there are good women out there that actually have good intentions. And then you have some that just want to profit off of what you're doing. And they make threats. Y'all know Rhoda made threats to me too. I'm going to bury you, this and that. And I never once took Rhoda to court because I knew that the felony would be worse. And I still have the statute of limitations. I still have a year. If I wanted to, when she posted my New Jersey court cases that were virtual because somebody said that I hurt their feelings, she thought she was doing something big. She thought I was wanted for murder. And when she was out there harassing me, I could have called that sergeant and said, you know what? Yeah, I feel scared. Rhoda did threaten my life 3 times on video, asked people for my address. She knows where I live now. And I want to pursue it. I can pursue that charge right now on Rhoda and she would be done. She didn't even realize that I had her life in my hands. She literally threatened me on camera and told her followers to harass me. And I have all of that still. And if I wanted to be petty Sutton, I can call them right now. Call them tomorrow and say, you know what? I want to pursue this threat because I'm scared. Then she'll be dealing with felony for deception and whatever they want to give her for her threats and directing her followers to my page. I never directed my followers to harass her. She was private, but she knew I was public. So do you see how much I give black women grace, even when they threaten my life? Because I know those threats are dry. I'm not scared of them. But anybody else, if I would have done that to them, they would have taken me to court. And I still have until October of this year to pursue those charges on Rhoda Osmond. But I'm not going to do it because what she's about to get is going to be far worse. And somebody said, well, what if she doesn't get it? Can you pursue it then? No, because I said I wasn't going to do it. But I just want y'all to know how much power I had. And I didn't. They even asked me, well, that's a credible threat. She said your name. She told people she was going to go after your family, your job, your livelihood. That is a clear threat. Then she goes to the cemetery saying, I'm going to bury you, bitch. I had all the evidence, y'all, on video. She can't say that's AI technology. I had the evidence and I still didn't do it. I don't want to see black women go down. I just want them to stop doing wrong. That's it. If you stop doing wrong, you won't have to deal with me. But if you're online blaming men and accusing men and saying things have happened to you that didn't, I'm going to swoop in every time and I'm going to report it. I don't get people fired for no reason. I get people fired who didn't want their jobs. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Because if I want to keep my job, I'm not going to go online saying that I got somebody fired because they hurt my feelings. I would never do that. So if you want your jobs, just don't lie. Because truth be told, a lot of these jobs, they look at your social media, but you guys hide behind those fake names. So a lot of them fire you because you didn't give them your real social media. See what I'm saying? So if y'all don't want to be fired, stop talking about people online and make it in public. That's how you get fired. Guys, I hope that y'all got something out of my show today. I know in the chat it's saying 51, but on my end, this is streaming over Twitter, and it's also being streamed over Facebook, and we're at 627 listeners. Thank you to all 627 people. I know a lot of y'all on Twitter and Facebook can't comment in the chat because you're listening from probably like your default browser. But thank you guys for listening in to me today. You know, like I said, my life, I told y'all the major parts. I went through a lot of trauma as a kid, as a teen, and as an adult. And that didn't stop me from getting 4 college degrees. On top of me going through all this trauma, I hold an associate's in criminal justice. I hold a bachelor's in criminal justice with a focus in human services as the concentration. I hold a master's in management with a focus in leadership. And I hold a master's in psychology with an emphasis in life coaching. So I have 2 master degrees, guys. I'm not just out here saying go to school and I haven't went. And all these degrees helped me to get to where I am today. I remember when I was living paycheck to paycheck with no degree. And every time I went back to school and got a degree, my check was fatter. See, when you're working, and then when you're working with partners and you're getting these great contracts and you're basically working for yourself, helping other people, and you're running a mental health business, and you're a mental health life coach, and you help with some private investigative work, and you help with child support stuff. You don't have to lie on Facebook to go viral. All your businesses are doing well. That's why I don't ask people for money. That's why I don't beg people to donate or to, please share my post so I can get Facebook money. I don't have to do that. And what I do when people do order shirts from my mental health website, I recycle that and I give it back to women who need stuff and men. I don't really get a lot of men. I get a lot of women. Diapers are the number one thing. Women reach out to me all the time asking me if I can send them money for diapers. I don't question them. I don't. I tell them, prove that you have kids and show me in the past that you've bought diapers. I do make them prove it to me. And 9 times out of 10, it's true. So I think it's sad that a lot of our Black women can't even afford diapers. But they know I'm not going to put them on blast. They know I'm not going to send it to the state. Whenever you have kids, you should have more than enough money if you're getting government resources where you can get diapers. But I still don't question these women because all they're asking for is money for diapers. So if I need to send them $30, $40 to get wipes and diapers, I'm cool with that because I'm helping them. And they know I'm never going to post it on social media, even if they hurt my feelings. But if I was to take a picture of everyone I sent diapers and gas and help with light bill, help with food, I don't even know what the limit is that you can use on pictures on Facebook, but I would run out. I've helped a lot of women over the years, more women than I have men. So when they say I don't like Black women, I can show you that they're lying, but why do it? I know what I'm doing, and God knows what I'm doing. That's all that matters. But people want you to post it online so you can get some type of recognition. I don't need the recognition. Women will say I hate Black women, but when I would tell them, can you show me where it says I hate Black women? Right here. When you said that Black woman lied for clout. So how is that me hating her? I didn't say I hated her. I love women. I love men. And I love when they do the right thing. I don't like when they do the wrong thing. So if you want to consider that harassment, I guess that's your way of saying it, that I'm going to be harassing people for years. When people ask me how I don't have a criminal record, it's because I don't harass people. Whenever I say I figured you'll say that, and I hit them with what I need to hit them with, I don't need to go on beyond that. I already got you. There's no need to keep talking unless you post my address. I'm going to speak about it. And once I'm able to block her again, I am going to block her because now she's using me and my likeness to get more attention. And I'm not going to keep going back and forth with a girl, a young child who doesn't know. Once you tell me you have a mental illness, I back away because I'm a mental health advocate. She doesn't want my help. She already said no. So at that point, I'm not blocking you because I'm scared of you or blocking you because, she got me. I already got you. Everybody already went to her page and said, yeah, we know you're lying. And once they tell her that, she calls them a bitch. So there's no arguing with someone who doesn't want to see their wrongdoing. With Black women, there's never an end when they don't want to be held accountable. They keep going back and forth. That's why men walk out. That's why men say, you know what, I'm leaving, because they don't know how to turn it off. If somebody gets caught cheating and they want to keep justifying it, nobody's going to want to sit and hear you justify why you cheated. You got caught. Let it go. Take accountability. So when people get caught lying and they want to keep saying, you miserable bitch, this is where you live. You dirty bitch. You dummy. Your husband's cheating. All that shit is just them projecting their insecurities because they got caught. And when I untag myself, it's because you're now becoming a nuisance. Now it's harassment. You can't tell a judge, well, hey, judge, I told everybody my life was in danger and I was extremely scared. Miss Sutton then had the police come check on me, and that's when they told Miss Sutton I lied. I got mad at Miss Sutton because she sent the police to my house to check on me for lying about being in danger. How dare she? So then I started to terrorize her. Do you think a judge is going to say, Miss Sutton, you got to stop harassing people? No. She's going to say, well, if you didn't make up that lie about being in danger, we wouldn't be here. You're right, but still nothing. Denied. You feel what I'm saying, y'all? So October, I'm going to look at some of y'all comments now before I wrap up. October said, I'm a woman and black women can be very mean. Yeah, they can. They can wish death on you. I don't get mad when someone calls me a miserable bitch, because I'm not that. She's called me miserable because I called her out. I'm always going to be a miserable bitch, a narcissist, a fraud. I'm off cold. I want to remind you, she shared a couple of posts from somebody that I currently have an order against out of Cook County. She didn't know that. She's about to know that, but she didn't. And the person that the post that she shared, this person said she made me. She said that I was a fraud and I'm this. These women are emotionally damaged. I gave you the most views in your entire life. This woman only knew me 5 weeks. It's scary that women believe the shit that they're posting. I made you. You wouldn't be the queen of accountability if it wasn't for me. These women are dangerous. To make up a whole story like that off of knowing somebody for less than 2 months, that's scary work. So what do you think they'd do to a man? They never met me in person, right? Don't know me personally, but they're telling Facebook that they made me. And people that know me know it's bullshit. How did you make her? Because I am who I am. And can you show us the proof? I have proof. Well, can you show it? No, I'm not going to show it because it doesn't exist, y'all. This is my life. This is my life. And I don't regret anything I've done. Because at the end of the day, if we don't hold people accountable in our own community, who's going to do it? Nobody. And then we wonder why we have so many people getting shot, getting killed, because there's no accountability. And if accountability was held in those 4 walls, it wouldn't be all this mess right now. If parents actually taught their kids to be honest, we wouldn't have these incidents. They wouldn't be wanting to take TikTok away. But the truth is, a lot of these women were scamming and lying on TikTok, and they're tired of it. What's going to happen when they start to take down all the social media platforms? Some of these people won't even be able to live. If you stop lying and abusing it, it wouldn't be mentioned for them to want to take it down. But the more you abuse it, the more they're going to want to take it away. They're starting to make the age limit change for kids because it's dangerous on these websites, you guys. Slickman said, I enjoyed the show. My question is, you think your dad is ever going to be interviewed? No. I can tell you guys this, my dad will never come on my show. This is not his lane. I talk to my dad. He listens to my shows. I respect my dad. I love my dad. I will never, ever, ever make him come on my show and say, yep, that's my baby. No. My dad would never come on this show. I would never even subject him to this because I see what they do to my mother. And I thank God that nobody knows my dad because I'm very private with my personal life. I don't post my sisters and my brothers often because people will use that to try to hurt my family. And I would rather take the threats and the heat and the harassment than for them to go through it because I'm built for it. I'm a fighter. I'm built for this. I'm just looking at y'all comments. Don't play with a man's kids. You might F around and find the right one. Yeah. I'm just looking at your comments. All of those experiences made you strong. Yes. Everything I went through in my life, it made me strong. That's why I'm trying to pass it on to these women today. But they don't want my knowledge. Instead, they call me an old, miserable bitch. But you'll notice that a lot of these kids are not even making it to 30. They got so much to say. And a lot of these kids have so many kids before 30, and they think it's great. Someone said life is treating me decent. Okay, no. You and my daughter have the same story. She met her baby's father playing basketball. Okay, great. Jamal said he voted for this one. Thank you. If you guys have any questions, you can ask me now. I was gonna let people on the panel, but I'm not gonna do that. So for the last 10 minutes of the show, if you guys have any questions, ask me now. But I do want you guys to know that holding people accountable, it's not easy. Anyone that's wanting to do what I'm doing, you better have very thick skin, because it won't be easy. People are going to take you to court. People are going to call the police on you. People are going to show your address. People are going to show your surroundings where you live. They're going to post your job. They're going to do everything they can to destroy you, to stop you from speaking. One thing I learned about Black women, they can talk about me for 5 months straight. She's a narcissist. She's fake. Her mom is dead. She's a narcissist. She's fake. Her mom is dead. Narcissist. Fake. The minute they get a court order, and the court order is telling them to shut the hell up, she's trying to silence me now. You had 5 months to expose me, and nothing happened. But the moment they get that court order stamped by a judge, now they change the narrative. She's trying to silence me from exposing her. So what were you doing the months prior to the order? You were yapping. I gave you 5 months. I gave you 6 months. I gave you 5 years. And you did nothing of the sort. Now when there's an order in place, now you want to make up this lie that I'm trying to silence you, when you had every opportunity. When people say they're going to expose me, I laugh, because I tell people my life. I'm not hiding behind a fake persona. Expose me. Daphne actually has 5 kids and 3 baby dads. That's exposing. But exposing someone saying she has 4 college degrees, she lives in an upscale neighborhood with an A- crime rating, that isn't exposing me. You're actually making me look good. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, if you expose me and say, Daphne claims she lives in a house, but she lives in this little shack in the hood, now that's exposing me because I lied. But what are y'all exposing? We're going to expose what her husband did before he met her when he was in college dating white women. I don't give a fuck about that. That's not what he's doing today. He's married to a Black queen. A lot of men will explore and sample different races because that's their preference. Women do it too. Women love them some Brads and Kens. It's okay when they do it. It's a problem when Black men do it. See, Black men, when they go to college and they're exposed to all of this, a plethora of hoes, and they're jocks, and they're on the football team, and they're working out with the Chicago Bears, yeah, they're going to get all the booty they want. I didn't know my husband in college, but I know he got it in. That's the whole point of college. So what are you exposing? You're telling me what he did before he met me. I don't give a fuck. And if my husband liked white women in college because those women cared about him, they didn't see dollar signs, okay. That doesn't bother me. But he chose me. I'm his wife. I'm his wife. A lot of men have ideas of how Black women are because of what they've seen, how they were treated. Because a Black woman would turn down a man that's struggling quicker than a white woman. Oh, you can't help me. I'm not trying to be with you so I can provide for you. You're supposed to be providing for me, Tyrone. But these white women, they don't see it that way. I know right now you're in a hard spot. If I have it, you have it. And they're like, damn, for real, Becky? Damn, you a real one. Man, I wish Bonquisha was like this. It ain't that men don't love us. Y'all didn't want them. Y'all didn't want them when they were struggling to make it. You want them when they've made it. And that's the difference. And their Black mothers are worse because they sit there and embarrass their sons by not acknowledging their white girlfriends. That's an embarrassment. He chose her. His happiness should be your happiness. Because at the end of the day, if he marries her and you hate him for that, he's going to stop fucking with you. You see what Kobe Bryant did with his parents? He stopped fucking with them. He loved his wife more. Leave to cleave. We don't like her, Kobe. Kobe didn't give 2 shits. That's my wife and she comes before y'all. His mom hated his wife. Did Kobe divorce her? No. Y'all see? But black women, she not even black like us. He should have married Brandy. Brandy's a baby mama. Y'all see the difference? Men choose who want them, and that's going to be there for them. So we are going to talk about that this week. I might do that show. I might do it on Tuesday or maybe Wednesday. It's up to y'all. But I honestly think a lot of these black athletes don't fuck with black women anymore because of how they were treated. You know, Terrell Owens said that he had a bad experience with black women. They would call him ashy, dusty, you're too dark. He said, so when they didn't want me, I went with the women that wanted me. Men are going to choose who want them. See what I'm saying? But see, women don't want to be honest about what they did to black men. They don't want these black men until they're in the arms of Becky. That's when they want them. But then they call them sellouts. But these men will still marry these white women. And don't let a white woman do something wrong in the relationship. Because black women can't wait to say, see, you should have chose black. No, black ain't always the best either. It's women in general. Young Jeezy, you should have had you a black queen and you wouldn't have went through this. So we're saying black queens don't do this shit? No. Stop it. Stop the cap. He chose who he wanted at that time. You black queens are not deserving of a Young Jeezy. Young Jeezy he was dating Keisha Cole. And he said she was nuts. Now look at Keisha Cole. She's chasing these young wieners. Y'all see it? Everybody can't be lying. Young Jeezy said she was a nutcase. And Keisha Cole she couldn't even keep a husband. She can't even keep a man. She's now having all these bastard kids. Now she's dating a guy named Lip Gloss, whatever his name is, Glossy Glitter, I don't know, in his 20s. And he's playing her in her face. See what I'm saying? It's right there. Everybody can't be lying. Everybody can't be lying. So at the end of the day, no. These men try to date black women and it doesn't work. Just like Halle Berry. She was tired of fucking with black men, right? Because they was cheating on her. Then she got with 2 Brads and became a baby mama. Now she's back to the black men. Y'all see how it works? She figured out that it wasn't just black men. It was men. The men that you chose, Holly. Halle Berry was bashing black men. I'm done with them. David Justice, Wesley Snipes, all these men, they put their hands on me and I'm done with it. Then you get into a battle with 2 white men over custody of your kids. So I guess they were right when they said Holly was a nutcase too. You got to look at the pattern. Now Halle Berry is now back with the black men. They always come back after an attack. They always come back. You sat there and attacked all these black men, got with the white men, got dissed and disrespected, and now you're back in the black man's arms. Who knew? Guys, I'm not making this up. So at the end of the day, guys, I will be talking about that on my show. And maybe I'll do it tomorrow so I can just, throw in an extra show for you guys. But look, that's the story of my life. I don't see any somebody said, Nikki said, I can relate to what you did for your mom, Daphne. I used to take care of mine who was paralyzed on her left side. I did everything from cleaning her to giving her pills. Her death still hurts. See? And the thing about it is black women know, other black women that are out to get you know what your soft spot is. So when I tell you guys, one thing my dad did not like during all of this accountability, he didn't like when people brought up my mother. It hurt him because they don't know my mom. They don't know what my mom went through. They can't even hold a candle to my mother. They're not even on the same level as my mother. And yet they want to attack something that is sensitive to me. And I'm telling you, every one of these black women that attack my mother, I can bet you $1,000 that they lost somebody in their life that's close. And if somebody said something about them, they would go berserk. But it's okay to do it to someone else. When someone loses a parent, you only get one dad and one mother. That's all you get. And when one is gone, it hurts because you lost a part of you, right? So when people talk about your mom or your dad or whoever passed in your life, it's a reflection of how evil these people are. Okay, someone else said, when is your book coming out? Okay, Dios, you said, mods, please post the info. What info are you asking for? But Marie said, when is your book coming out? Marie, I can't give you a date on that because if I do, I'll be lying. I haven't even got to it. Right now, unfortunately, I've been tied up in a bunch of court cases. May is going to be one of my busiest months. Unfortunately, a lot of people who don't understand what leave me alone means, I had to go this route. Because if I did any other route, I would be in jail. I would be looking at a conviction for threatening, for coming out. I don't want to live that life. So I have to do it the right way. And sometimes with justice, it takes a little bit longer. But I want you guys to know that when all this is done, I would be able to focus on this book. Right now, I can't. And I will write a book about the attacks of Black women. Because being attacked by Black women whom you did not do nothing to personally, that's something we need to talk about in this community. A lot of these Black women walk around here acting like they have a right to call someone a narcissist when they need to take their asses into a therapist's office and talk to them. They're sick. They're not healed themselves. And I think a lot of these Black women, when I post something that triggers them, it reminds them that they fucked up, and then they go on a rampage where they want to attack me. So Marie, I can't tell you exactly when. The first prime said, I'm sure people would try and find her pops. Yeah, if they tried to find my dad is protected. My dad knows he's protected. I take my father very seriously. So if anybody tried anything, to try to put my dad in danger, that would be bad for them. And I'm not saying it in a way where I'm going to kill them, but they would be put on blast in public when they're going to court. My family is always off limits because I don't talk about anybody else's family. Even when people talked about my mother, I didn't reciprocate it. Y'all remember when Tiffany was on my show? I could have did more damage to Tiffany when she did that to me, but I didn't. I don't reciprocate like that. I knew that Tiffany was speaking from a hurt place because she's damaged and her mother failed her and she's mad. Instead of her being mad at the person that failed her, she wants to take it out on me. That's what Black women do. They'll sit there and blame Pookie for their choices. It's your body, your choice until you need to blame somebody. And then you blame Pookie. You can't have it both ways, ladies. Dio said, I'm doing the work. I lost my mom on my birthday, but I'm helping others. Hey, I appreciate that. I do talk to people who lose their parents too. It hurts. I talk to people that don't have either. Now, I couldn't imagine my life without my dad. I know eventually our parents are going to get older, but you got to enjoy them while they're here. And unfortunately, a lot of the kids are going before the parents. You got these young kids dying at 18, 19, 20, and their parents are outliving them because they're doing dumb shit. And they're not realizing that they're putting their parents at risk too, because you're hurting people online. I don't hurt people online. I have never posted someone's physical address that wasn't already public. If you already have it public, then it's fair game. But if you have to go to people search and search me and post my address, okay, now that you've posted it, what happens next? You're not coming out here. A lot of people online are keyboard gangsters. And then when you respond to them, they run right to the courts. I've seen it. That's why I have all these court cases now, because I thought that they were this tough persona until you held them accountable, and then they showed you their true colors. A lot of it is the bait and hook. They'll sit there and bait you so that when you respond back, they can then say you're harassing them, and then they'll go back and delete their comments. But I don't never post without taking a picture. I keep receipts. Mia said I didn't get a message either showing the video is up. I'm subscribed and clicked off the note. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know what YouTube is doing, but that's why I've been streaming over all platforms now, because a lot of people still say they don't see my notifications. So if you guys have it, I'm sorry, but I'm doing the best that I can. I don't know if this is like punishment for not being monetized, but yeah, I think that's where that comes from. Thank you guys for enjoying the show. Daphne, my question about your dad wasn't meant to be I know, Slickman, I didn't say it was. I'm just saying my dad would never come onto the show. That's all I'm saying. Wasn't trying to be mean to you. Ziggy said I lost both my parents. Listen, guys, this is Mother's Day month, right? We know Mother's Day is coming up soon. If you lost your mother or your grandparent or someone that's a woman figure in your life that you looked at as a mother, and you need help coping, if this is something where you cannot function in life, I will tell you to go to a therapist. I can't help you with that. But if you're able to manage your day to day, but every now and then you have a moment, reach out to me. Now, let me tell you, I can't talk to everybody. I have paid clients who pay for my time because I can't be free all the time. I used to be free for like 2 years and people took advantage of that. I was getting like maybe 20 clients a month and it was taking up a lot of my time and people were taking advantage. Some of them had the money to spend to get their own therapist, but they wanted to use the free. And there was people that didn't have any money that I wasn't able to help. So I want to remind you, I probably get 50, 60 emails a day. I'm tagged 20, 30 times a day, everywhere, all over social media. I'm one person. I don't have an assistant. My shirt business is ran by me. And I want to say thank you to those who have been supporting my mental health line. The sales have been phenomenal. I'm so thankful I'm able to get people like gifts for their parents and things. It's fun making people's day. I'm telling you that. It's great. That's why I said sometimes I might just want to, be a business owner and hopefully open up a mental health store in Illinois. That's what I'm working on because my mental health brand is starting to expand. And I want you guys to know that you won't see me, stopping this mental health movement. That's the only thing I will never stop. If I hang up the accountability stuff, the mental health stuff will still keep going. Uncle Snack said, how much do you cost? Okay, I'm glad you asked that because a lot of people think that I'm very expensive and I'm not. I'm going to be completely honest. One session with me is $20. And I had people saying, you're cheap. Well, I'm not licensed. I'm a life coach. I have a degree, but I'm not licensed. So I'm not going to sit here and take from people. $20 for a session or, oh, no, I'm sorry. I'm wrong. $25 for one session, or you can do 4 sessions for $80. So you'll be saving. Each one of my sessions are 45 minutes to an hour. Most people will charge you 30 minutes. It's like $150, $200. Not me. If you're under my coaching and you get a contract, anytime someone wants my coaching, you'll get an invoice. You will get a contract that tells you the do's and don'ts and what I'm allowed to do and what I'm not. I let you know I'm not a therapist. And what you tell me is between me and you. I'm not going to dox you, not going to look up your life, none of that. You will have access to me. I will have access to you. The reason why a lot of therapists are jealous of me online is because not only do you get the coaching, I can help you with your resume. I can help you with looking for a job. And if you need me before a session and it's an emergency and I'm available, I will take your call. There's no extra charge for that. But I guarantee you, if you have a real therapist on paper, you cannot contact them after hours. You cannot, if you send them an email and they got to respond, that's an extra charge. There's a lot behind that because everything is about money. Yes, they want to get to the root of what's hurting you, but it's about money. And the last person that I've been helping, they told me they spent over $4,000 on a therapist and they're still messed up. But after one session with me, they were able to figure out why they were having the problems they were having. And that scares me because the therapist went to school and got the license and they suck at what they do. And let me tell you, when you're looking for a therapist, if they have no reviews, if they only got 1 review, 2 reviews, and they've been up for 5 years, that's a red flag for me. I need verified people that said they use your services. Because usually when they're licensed, they're on paper. They have a website, so you can see if they have reviews. So if I ever used anybody, or if I ever did wrong when they got my coaching, somebody would have exposed me already. Someone would have posted the contract and said, look, she's a fraud. You won't see that anywhere because I care about everybody. And then after the session is over with me, they get a certificate and they get to pick a shirt off my website because you made it. You did it. That's like me congratulating you for completing my program. Now, if you are messed up and I think 4 sessions isn't enough, I'm going to tell you. But in order to get the shirt and get the certificate, you got to go through 3 months of my coaching sessions because no one is healed after 4 sessions. It's impossible. You have problems. At least do 12 sessions. And I know for somebody else, $80 a month, that ain't nothing compared to $400 a month. Y'all see what I'm saying? I don't want people to waste their money. But if I feel like my coaching isn't helping you and you are, deeply rooted, there's issues that I can't uncover. That's not my job. My job isn't to uncover what happened when you were 3. It's to help you move forward because you've already went through that. So if I feel like you're not getting any help from me, I refund people and I refer them to somebody else. Now you're going to be paying money, but I want you to get the right help, right? When I had a therapist, I remember I went to 3 people. The last therapist that I went to, I was talking, and then when I was thinking about a question she asked, I saw her hand moving. And I'm like, I didn't even speak yet. What is she doing? So I asked her, I didn't even answer my question. Are you writing something? She was like, oh, no. Go ahead. What were you going to say? And that made me think, what was she doing? So when the session was over, therapists make the mistake when they're going back to the computer to schedule your next session. She put the notepad down and she was doodling. She was drawing pictures. That was the last time I ever saw a therapist. You're supposed to be devoting your time to me. And if you want to draw smiley faces and houses with a sun, do that shit on your own time. I'm paying for your time. So when that person did that, I was done. So I just want you guys to know that there are therapists out there that just do it for the money. And most people go to us life coaches. They call us bottom of the barrel because we've been through it in our lives. If someone told me they lost their mother, I know that because I've been through it. So I can give you some coping mechanisms. It would never go away. I'm not going to be able to take your pain away, but I can help you get through the pain. And when you hear that somebody else is hurting like you and that they have to remember that their mother or their father is in a better place, that gives you comfort. They're in your heart, right? Okay, somebody else said a lot of these therapists don't know what they're doing. Very true. Someone said I had a therapist laugh and hang up on the phone when I tried to explain what I'm dealing with. Yeah. Yeah. So if you guys want to contact me, Nikki Jones, can you put my email out there? MEN underscore TALhealth@yahoo.com. Reach out to me through email if you're looking. But guys, let me tell you, my May calendar is full. So unless somebody cancels, I'm not going to sit up here and waste your time. What I do for some people is I give you a free consultation. I just want to talk to you on the phone and see what your problem is. It's not a real session. You're not signing any paperwork. You're not paying me. I just want to know how severe your problems are. Because if somebody cancels, I can fill you in. But if I think you're going to be more than just, a conversation, I don't want to waste your money. I don't want to see anybody lose money. And there's quite a bit of people I helped them get jobs. Even if I had to write them a letter of recommendation. If you went through my coaching for several months and I was able to establish your character and you need a letter of recommendation with a letterhead, I got you. If you're out there struggling to find a job, I got you. If you're looking to go back to school. Now, guys, the biggest thing I do for people is school. Because I'm telling you, everybody can't wake up and own a business like me. Everybody can't just make $1 billion like Steve Jobs did or Elon Musk. If you're a regular person in this world, African-American, male or female, we know we have to compete against our counterparts. And one thing jobs, they look for education. They don't want to hear that you've been unemployed for 6 months and you haven't even tried to go to school. So if you have kids that need to go to college and you need their help, I can help them. I can refer them to a school. And if they choose to enroll with that school, I will be their life coach from start to finish. A lot of parents love that. So if you're interested, I'll put it out there. I don't know if Nikki's paying attention. Hold on. I'm going to put my email out here. I do have to make some calls today to people who are interested in education because that's big to me. I would never tell people to go to school if I didn't. Now, some of y'all don't need school, so I'm not going to force y'all to do it. But if you know someone that might want to go back to school, I got you. If you know someone that's been struggling to get a job and you know their resume is 5 pages, please send them my way. I used to hire people. I still do. Just not at the high rate. I have an assistant that does that, for me sometimes too. When it comes to the school part, mental health and all that is all me. But when it comes to my partnerships with schools, they give me an assistant that filters different people for me. But if people are looking for a job and they're trying to get it in the job in the field that they're going to school with, I say get their resume and send it to me. Some of y'all resumes are ridiculous. It's not Facebook, it's a resume. So There's a few men, their resume was trash. And when I fixed it for them, they got jobs. I know what jobs look for because I used to read resumes and I used to read them for like 10 seconds and throw them in the trash. I hate to burst your bubble, but that's what corporate America does. They look at that objective. Some of y'all have like 800 words in the objective. It goes in the trash. If your objective is too short, it goes in the trash. And they can tell when you're lying on a resume. And I want to remind you guys, that same woman who lied about her baby daddy trying to kill her, she said if she couldn't find a job, she was going to make a fake resume. What are you teaching other people? How are you helping the community? We know that on resumes, 80% of it is the truth. The other 20% is a lie. People fabricate the dates they were at jobs. They do that all the time. Nothing is perfect because you don't want to be honest. But if you're going to sit there and finagle the jobs by a few months, that's normal. But adding jobs you never had, that's weird. Y'all got to do better. So if a lot of you women that talk about me online, you work at Starbucks, you work at McDonald's, you have regular basic jobs, and I think you can do better. Even the women that hate me, I say, I think you can do better than that job. You just haven't looked at them. And then a lot of the states that women talk about me, I have contacts there. I have contacts that help out with job placement, food stamps. I would say in over maybe 30 of the 50 states. If you're in one of those 30 states that I know someone, I can help you. And I don't charge anyone to look at their resume and fix it for them. Sometimes I'll tell you what to fix, and sometimes I'll change your whole resume. Y'all, I'm doing a lot of free stuff out here in this world. I wish y'all can understand what I do. And if I could show you every resume I've done, y'all would say now I want the credit and I want the affirmation. And that's what narcissists do. So no matter what I tell you guys, you're not going to believe me. But I want you to know I've helped a lot of people. I've sent, I would say, over 1,000 people to college in 10 years. And I'm being nice with the numbers. I would say maybe 2,000, maybe more than that. But I lost count. I've sent a lot of men and women to school. I've sent people to D1 colleges for basketball. I know what people look for and I know how I can help you guys. But I can't help you if you're doing wrong. So I'm going to end the show with this. If you really need my help and I have the time and the availability, email me. Everything you say to me is confidential. I would never expose someone that needed help from me. I've never done that. If you see me doing this online, it was already public. But when we're outside of social media, I'm Daphne Sutton. I'm not the queen of accountability. Don't call me by my Instagram or Facebook. Just call me Daphne Sutton. I have nothing to hide. But if you Black women and Black men really do need my help, need a second opinion, I got you. But I'm not an attorney. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a therapist. I'm not all these things you think I am. I'm a human being. So some things I might not be able to help you with, and I can refer you somewhere. But if you're really trying to change your life and the life of your kids and you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, let me help you. If you're not at a point in your life where you don't beg people online to share your stuff and to please, please share it so I can get Facebook money. If you're banking your income on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, you need to reach out to me because that's not safe. Because those things can one day be gone. You need to have a real life business that you're working on. And if you have kids, you should be working on a real legacy, not a social media legacy. So all I'm saying to you Black women, because this is for you guys, I hope that you guys can stop hating me so much and take a look at yourself and ask yourself why you hate a stranger online who did nothing to you. And if I did catch you in a lie, sit back and ask yourself why you felt the need to lie and how that's going to impact the community. Would you want your kid to lie like that in school, telling the teacher that somebody assaulted them and they never did? That's where those lies go. Kids will sit there and do that in real life, just like those teachers who got accused of sexual assault. These kids lied because they learned it from their mothers. I'm just trying to save the generation. That's it. And I'm only doing it by myself. So to all those people who hate me online, I'm going to continue to wish the best for you because there's no hate in my body. There's nothing you got that I want. I have everything I need in life. I have a wonderful life, a great husband. And when I was telling you guys about Well, I forgot. When I was telling you guys about the big motive of why I do accountability, because it was done to me. If Charles never held me accountable, I would be dead today. And me saying it, it makes me shaky a little bit. It's scary. It's scary. And one thing I want you guys to know is that that's what it is. When I call women's wigs dehydrated, some of y'all wigs be dry. Now, I wear weaves. I do. And I'm not going to hide that. My husband knows that I like to switch it up. But I also am anemic and I have the worst case of alopecia. And the last time I ever wore braids in my life, I was in high school. So they say it comes from that, but it's also hereditary in my family. I didn't know what none of this stuff was. So when my eyebrows and stuff started to fall out, you know, when your eyelashes fall out, you're like, I thought I had cancer. When I told people that, you know, about my struggles like that, that was another thing. When I had went through my mental illness, I thought I had cancer because I'm like, why are my lashes? When I would pull my lashes, they'd come out and what's going on? The worst case of alopecia. I'm not ashamed. It's just like LeBron James. It's just like Kevin Durant. All these men who losing their hair, they just let it happen. You can't control what's supposed to happen in your life. You can't. You can contain it. I'm not ashamed of having any of that. It makes me who I am today. And it runs in my family. When my dad sat me down and told me this is why, I was like, man, I don't want to wear no damn weaves. I'm a hooper. I want to wear a ponytail and I'm going to live life. You know? But sometimes we have to conform because we know that when you're out here trying to reach a crowd, you have to look a certain way. I'm not ashamed though. You know, like I said, when all else fails, if you ever go on TikTok, one thing I did like about TikTok, there was a thread of women who lost all their hair, eyebrows, and lashes. I was like, ooh wee. But they were so damn beautiful. If you can't control it, how can you judge somebody, right? And one thing I said to an individual online who accused me of threatening a kid's book. She said I wore a hair unit like Steve Harvey. I never wore a hair unit in my life, but it was the fact she was making fun of the fact that every now and then black women like to switch up their hair, and she's supposed to be a black woman. But I remember seeing her bash women that wear wigs, and it wasn't funny when a cancer patient saw that. I actually felt bad. I was gonna buy your book until I saw you making fun of women that wear wigs. I'm bald from chemo. How can you judge us? What if there's kids that saw that? It's a kid's book. And what if the kid found you on Facebook and saw that same thing you said, and they're in the cancer ward needing a wig, and you're making it not okay to wear them? See, when I was working on businesses, I wanted to create wigs for kids so that they didn't have to feel ashamed. Kids that battle alopecia, cancer, and other illnesses that make them lose their hair. Kids get bullied for that. And creating custom wigs that fit a kid, you know, with the barrettes and the little braids. I wanted to do more. So I keep telling black women, you never know who you're hurting online or what somebody's battle is. We all know someone that went through cancer. And when you go through chemo, what happens? They lose their hair. And some of them have long, flowy, beautiful black hair. And now they got to put a wig on. And somebody might see them with a wig and say, ooh, wee. And you don't even know the battle. At the end of the day, I have a husband that loves me to death. And he knows. I'm not ashamed. Everything I go through in life, it makes me better today. It's not going to stop me from holding you accountable when you fuck up. But if you're going to spend your life making fun of people that are going through things in life, know that that energy will be reciprocated times 10. Y'all, we have to be honest with ourselves. Y'all can say whatever y'all want about me, but I'm one of the most open content creators out there. I don't hide behind a facade. There's no point in hiding. My dad told me people that love to live in the dark and then you expose them and put the light on them, they're mad at you because you exposed them. They're not looking at she could have saved my life. They're looking at she just wants to hurt my feelings and make me look bad. You already made yourself look bad when you hit post. So guys, let me tell you, don't give up. If you're going through something in life, don't give up. Tap into that fighter mentality. Tap into it. Because let me tell you, When you find what makes you good and what you're good at, and you hone in on that, you're going to be great at it. You got a lot of these pages that will share your business for $1,000. If you need a post, I am going to be making a post about people who have a business. I want to get it out there. I learned that when I had my mental health business, nobody wanted to promote me. All these YouTubers will sit there and steal my content and get paid 10, 15,000 a month off me. And not one of them shared my mental health page. And that's free. Well, Daphne, I didn't know. I didn't know you wanted me to do that. But you're making $10,000 to $15,000 a month on me. And you're telling me you didn't think it was okay to say, well, you know what? This sister also has a mental health website. Buy a shirt from her when you get a chance. That's the least some of y'all can do. But that didn't happen. But you do have a lot of women who will always contribute to my success because they were always sharing my page. And I'm going to tell you, my mental health brand, it is going to blow up real soon. There are people that really, really love what I'm doing. And they love the mission. And they can't believe that one person is doing all the work and not asking for stuff in return. I've given people so many free shirts and pillows, and I'm footing the bill for the shipping, $15, $20. They're not paying for nothing because I care. I just want y'all to be happy. So if anybody wants to send me a card, I was right about the P.O. Box. My P.O. Box is P.O. Box 588, Stringwood, Illinois, 60107. And if you forget it, just email me. If you go to my mental health website, it's mentalhealth2011.com. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page and you'll see my P.O. Box. If anybody wants to send me a card, I love cards. I want to actually keep a display of all the cards people send me. You can send me a card. You can send me a small gift, whatever you want. And if you want me to feature it, I will. So I'm hoping that Black women can start uplifting each other. And please don't confuse what I post about it being about you. If I didn't tag you, it's not about you. And if I say something in general that hits you and it hurts your feelings, then you need to work on yourself. I didn't do that to you because I didn't know I hurt your feelings. But one thing about Kevin Samuels that I really liked, he didn't change calling women what it was. You know, telling a woman that she's beautiful while she's obese and unhealthy and could potentially die, that's a lie. You got to tell a woman that there's nothing great that's going to happen for you if you keep eating like this. That's why if you watch My 600-Pound Life, most of the arguments came from Black women. Your fat ass can't tell me about my weight. You not even in shape, Dr. Now. You not even in shape. Dr. Now used to tell these women, you pushing 600. I'm in my 70s, about to be 80. You're only what, 30? And you're fat as fuck. That's what he really wanted to say to him. But these women didn't want to take accountability for the food they were eating. So they wanted to project it onto Dr. Now, calling him a fat ass. But this man is in his 80s, or about to be in his 80s. He's living well. You're not. You can call him old and dusty, but you better hope you can live another 50 years. I noticed that. I used to hate watching that show because Black women made us look dumb. How you going to tell a doctor that what he's saying is wrong and your fat ass can barely breathe? That's what I would have said. Since you want to talk about me, gloves off. But Dr. Now was better than me. Women don't like accountability. Well, I know I'm big and I'm trying. How are you trying when you keep eating? Stop eating and work out. We have to start giving people the truth. Stop lying on Facebook and tell the truth. My mental health post is like at 95,000 shares. And I didn't have to lie. I didn't have to create a fake scenario. It was a post on mental health. 95,000 shares. Now, mind you, a lot of people didn't say nothing positive. Oh, you think men don't want the help. You know, you're going to have women saying that I just cater to men. But still, the post did well. A lot of my most viral posts were regular posts that had nothing to do with text receipts. A lot of people can't do that. So guys, all I'm saying is I want us to do better. Black women, I hope that y'all got something out of my show. And shout out to the 702 listeners that is listening to me today. I hope y'all got something out of my story. Now, I didn't tell y'all every little thing because we'll be here all night. But I do want to tell you guys that I will be doing a show on black athletes dating white women because it's time to talk about the truth. There's a lot of black women that I follow on Facebook or that are following me on Instagram. And there's a couple that I reached out to and said, hey, if you stop talking negative online, you'll be married already. Sometimes I tell women that what you just posted, that ain't gonna hit right. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And then 2 days later, hey Daphne, you were right. You were right. Someone actually posted me at my job. Let me tell you, the internet is a dangerous place. So if you're gonna make threats to people, you better make sure that you're acting on those threats because people take them seriously. And once you threaten them, it's wartime. You gotta be careful what you do, ladies. When you say it, you can't take it back. So to my black women out there who are going through, the struggle and they're taking it out on every black man and black woman that comes across their path, I hope that you get the healing you need. I hope that you genuinely work on yourself because messing with me is not what you want to do. I will not entertain the theatrics anymore. I'm going to handle it the right way. I'm not the old me. I'm the new me. And at the end of the day, I have partnerships and I have working relationships with people that might want to invest in me. And I don't want to ruin my investments. I don't want to ruin my partnerships. And I don't want to ruin my reputation. When one black woman has nothing to lose, they want to bring everybody down that hateful path because they have nothing to lose. But a black woman who has something to lose, they're going to stop while they're ahead. And they're going to rethink what they're doing because they know they don't want to lose what they have, that they worked so hard for. So understand if I block you online, it's because I already did what I had to do. You were already exposed for lying, and there's no need to go back and forth with you anymore. And in order for me to stop you from tagging me, I have to block you because you're going to keep tagging me. Now I don't care what you say. Somebody said Daphne exposed you days ago, and you're still talking about her, yet you're getting mad when people bring her up. You can't call me a stalker when you've posted 20 times about me compared to my one. Receipts don't lie. So at the end of the day, I'm not going to stop holding people accountable. And I hope that people can see that I'm not here to destroy. I'm here to build. Nobody else is doing what I'm doing. Anybody can post gossip and celebrity gossip, right? But who's actually out there in the community trying to build it? Me posting about celebrities all day is not going to bring us together as a black community. We got to hold real people accountable in real life. Am I right or wrong? Desmond said, be safe because if any woman or man decided to take out the struggles of me, I'll be sure to take my, we ain't got to do wrong for wrong. If you take struggles out, if I was to tell someone, oh, you're going to beat my ass, I'm going to beat yours too. Now we both threaten each other. Now we're both going to be on a docket. It ain't worth it, y'all. I'm not going to ruin my clean record for a record. I'm sorry, I can't do that. I can't. Because y'all know that I told you, I work alongside kids. I help kids out. And you have to be clean to do that. No criminal record. So I'd be damned if I let somebody make me get a criminal record. That means that they have all the power. If someone has enough power to make you do something that's going to get you in jail, then they got power over you. I don't live there. I ain't going to let nobody control my actions. I control my actions. So at the end of the day, we have to live in this world where we can't let people hurt our feelings. You got to do it the right way. And if you have kids and you're saying, if somebody hits me, I'm going to hit them. Or if somebody threatens me, I'm going to kill them. And you have kids, really? So you're going to leave your kids without a parent because you let somebody online get you that upset. Come on, guys. You know if somebody lives in another state, they're not going to do shit. Y'all know that already. So why would you let somebody really make you mad? Oh, they threatened me. You know they're not going to come out to you. You know your power. So why even give them any energy? When you ignore them, they're talking to themselves and people are laughing at them online. Like, hey, she ain't said nothing about you in 3 days and you still talking? She got you. That's how I know I got women. When they post my address or they post a court case or they post somebody that said, I hate Daphne, that means I got to them. I don't need to respond. I won. I don't have to keep going back and forth with them. That's what they want you to do because they've been caught. Y'all feel me? Billy's right. Billy said black people don't want to grow up. No, they don't. Black women don't want to grow up. Black women want to be little kids all day acting like fools online. And the sad part is a lot of these black women are really talented. They just don't see their talent because they're blinded by these scams and quick ways to make money until it's not funny. They got a whole YouTube of women being exposed by the police. Did y'all know that the police are doing a new thing online? They're going through Facebooks and they're typing in certain keywords. If they see you out there selling DNA tests or CPNs, those CPNs, y'all better stop. I can fix your credit for $50. Y'all better stop. Y'all gonna be on YouTube. I've seen it. Y'all think I'm bad. These police are looking for shit that you dummies are putting out there. Hey, y'all, I can fix your credit for $50. Wipe off all your negative stuff. That's a scam. Comment interested. And you'll have 50 people commenting that they're interested. Now the police and the feds are watching. Now they're on you. That's a crime. These CPNs, they have a whole task force for it, where you guys are creating a profile to get credit. Y'all better stop doing that sneaky stuff. They're not playing with y'all women. It's black women doing this. Y'all over here saying you do nails and stuff, but in reality, you're doing fake DNA tests, fake STD tests, anything it takes to get a couple dollars. And if you buy it from somebody, you're just as guilty. You're gonna go down too. So don't say that she made you buy it. No, she didn't. So I'm just saying, guys, all I'm saying is this is about me. This is my life. I hope that you guys got something out of my show today. And I hope that women can do better, because I hate that a lot of you are unmarried and you're bitter and you have all these kids and you have all this time to harass me online. If you have all this time to harass me, then I don't think you're giving your kids the right attention. And that's something to be looked at. You can't tell me to mind my business when you put it out there. So with that being said, guys, I do have my mental health shirts for this month. It is mental health month. So I'm going to show you guys just the mental health shirts that I have really quick. It's a quick video. So these are the mental health shirts. You know, green is the color of the mental health. There's more shirts than this on my website. I'm just giving you guys a snippet. So with it being mental health month, guys, please check on your loved ones. Check on your loved ones. These are not all my mental health shirts, but these are some of them. The cost of my shirts range from $30 to $35. And that includes taxes and shipping. One flat fee. That's it. That's it. I don't charge anything extra. So I wanted you guys to see that. A lot of people keep asking me about my accountability shirts. I want to say shout out to I always say her name on Khadijah. She has always rocked my accountability shirts. I've refined them. She bought one in a men's size and it was kind of big on her, but now I have them in female sizes. But I have females, beautiful black queens that support my accountability movement. And here's one of them right here.
ACCOUNT ability. Do y'all know what this means? ACCOUNT ability. Do y'all know what this means?
So as you can see, she's rocking my accountability shirt. That's a black woman, a black educated woman, no kids, rocking my accountability shirt because she loves it. So black women do rock my accountability shirts too. They buy them at high rates. Someone just bought like 6 of them. And I thought it was funny because she said that she's going to give each one of her friends that are mothers, that are not married, that are bitter, that accountability shirt. So they're going to be really mad at me on Mother's Day. She said they all needed that shirt because they refuse to take accountability and they're keeping their kids from their dads. And she feels like that shirt is going to bring them back to reality. And I'm like, maybe it won't. They're going to be mad at me. Don't get me in no trouble. But if you buy them, I'm going to ship them. So I just want you guys to know that I do care about black women. I love my black women. I just want y'all to do better. I don't want to see y'all unalived for bullshit. And to that woman that has been harassing me since I exposed her, know that I didn't block you because I'm scared of you. It's because I'm trying to protect you. You're barking up the wrong tree. And these women don't realize what they're doing until they get a court order or until they're in trouble. And if you were scared enough to post that somebody figured out your phone number and address, you should already know that this is not a game anymore. Eventually, y'all got to stop playing games. I would never put my baby's life in jeopardy. If I had an infant child, that's the last thing I would ever do. Mothers are supposed to, and fathers are supposed to die for their kids, not put them in jeopardy. It's not fair. These kids didn't ask to be, in this predicament. So if you got a mother online that's willing to make up a lie to be threatened and harmed, then I don't think they should have their kid. I think the kid should be with someone that's going to actually protect the kid. And if you're online telling people that's saying that you're going to take a dirt nap, come get me, I'll be waiting, and you're egging on the death threats, that is scary. Scary for a woman that doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about. So when I saw those type of threats, I had to act on that because I don't want to see somebody hurt or kids. People also take out kids too. So guys, at the end of the day, I hope that you guys got something out of my show. I will see you guys tomorrow. I will be doing the show probably tomorrow for you guys. Shout out to the 714 people listening. Shout out to the people that are in the chat. I appreciate all of you guys. And that's my life, y'all. That is my life. So Billy said he will be buying a mental health shirt. Thank you, Billy. I appreciate that, man. Hey, green is mental health month. Let me tell you, I take it seriously, y'all. I do. Mental health, men need to heal. We all need to heal. I also have mental health shirts for women. I did that for women. And I want to say shout out to the women who have been buying those shirts. It's different. And I'm telling y'all going to be seeing these NBA players rocking these shirts. Y'all better get on this train now. Those people that have been supporting me and have been avid supporters of me, I'm going to pour right back into my community. My dream is to see the WNBA rocking my mental health shirts. And that is right on the horizon. I'm going to be doing bigger things where I won't have time to be on social media all the time. So enjoy what I'm doing now, guys. Because like I told you, eventually it's going to just slow down and then it's not going to be anymore because I'm going to be focused on the cause of mental health. I want to see people rocking my shirts. I want to see people actually standing for mental health in the Black community, not being afraid to say, hey, I'm not okay today. So guys, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great Sunday. I love you all. Team accountability. Please don't give up on me. I won't give up on you. And that's the show.
What you gon' do when you facing accountability? You say she pandering, you hyenas be killing me. You niggas scandalous, your stories like validity. Boy, don't come for celebrity, queen of account. They calling her a pick me. Some women say she pandering, cause she don't pick the girl code over lies that's damaging. These hyenas scandalous, slandering a Black man again. And want celebrity to stand and watch like she a mannequin. Black men are the casualties, trapped by women's strategies. They act out sporadically, that shit is a travesty. And it's just so sad to see, matter of fact, it's a tragedy. 3 kids with different daddies, please, but y'all all mad at Daphne. They up at night trying to discredit and defame. They corrupt, ain't right, and it's pathetic and a shame. Fake friends turn enemies, throwing dirt on your name. But you gon' fly with the angels and serpents burning the flames. Yeah, I know it's hard and it hurt to discover the same people claim they love you, start shaming your mother. Cut you off unexpectedly, you triggered, you hate that. Claiming Daphne disrespected me, I figured you say that. What you gon' do when you facing accountability? You say she pandering, you hyenas be killing me. You niggas scandalous, your stories like validity. Boy, don't come for celebrity, queen of accountability.